Give me just a second, folks. I'm going to play the trailer for you. Give me a second while I go find that and get that set up for you. I see. We'll just get that set up so you guys can see where we were going and what's going on, and then we'll do a quick recap here. Apparently I moved it since last week. Good times.
Why would you move it?
Okay, so I'll tell you what, we're just not going to worry about it. I'm going to look for it. Welcome to tonight's episode of Skilling for Survival, our D&D game here in the tavern. I am your host and DM, Travis Sivert. I'll be running the things and playing the NPC Grull, a half-orc, half-elf who likes to carry his fetishes out in the open and hanging off his very long man spear. Now, let's go around clockwise, I'm sorry. So to my, this side. John.
I'm John from Jersey's Cards and Comics and Conquest Publishing, and I am playing Jaith Firedigger, Priest of Joneth. He's decided for some reason to step in front of somebody, and who knows what's going to happen.
Because he likes to protect the weak. What about you there, Aaron?
Hi, I'm
Speaking
Aaron
of
with
weak.
Valor Books and friggin' can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Aaron. I play Moggets. I'm with Valor Books and Gadsden HVAC. For everything that John plays with Jaith, Moggets does not. He may push somebody into the fray as he steps quickly back.
Very true. And then last but not least, Chris.
Hi, friends.
Ha!
Well, at least you have one friend here, right?
Yeah. I play Pierce Your Heart, a traveling merchant.
That is a hell of a lot of quotes for just 2 words.
Yep.
Like they were itchy. Is that everything? Are you good? She is back in my goddamn dice box. Hey.
Yep.
Hey.
Love it.
Okay. Now, we will be joined by Andrea in a little bit as soon as she gets home. And because Chris's character was all the way across the way, let me show you here on the map. Really, just everything not working. That is actually what is happening. Let me go find that. Okay, I moved all the photos. So bear with me. I'm going to find the maps here and add them in. So in Sandbilge, the place where the characters currently are, everybody is way across the area. And that's Chris's character, Pierce, is on one side where he is being approached by dozens and growing each moment, possibly hundreds of ex-slaves who are banging bone spoons and bone knives on bone bowls and coming towards him with this eerie tattoo of clickety-click, clickety-click.
That's what he gets for going in the devil's asshole.
I only started walking that way.
Well, you were checking out the whole
The rooms.
haunted
Yeah.
fissure thing, and then you turned towards the slaves and went towards them, and they were coming towards you. So,
Devil's asshole.
which is not just what Aaron gets called at work, but it's something else also. It's and bear with me while there's Sandbilge. Okay, let's get you guys a map that you can see. There we go. There it is. So Chris is over here on the left-hand side of the map between all those little dots. I'm holding my hands up like the viewers can see me right now. And, yeah. Everybody else is on the far right, over there by number 4, the Stone Towers, and we'll get to that in a moment. I do have a recap here I'd like to go over if nobody has any objection. And Trin, just real quick, since I know you're in the viewers there, are we coming through okay? Because I haven't seen anything since we actually started broadcasting, so I'm making sure that we can be seen. So, here's the recap. After traveling through the broken desert crag wastes of the crumbled terrain east of the rolling mountains, the group arrived at a red canyon of decay and putrefaction. Dead, laying in the street of the funnel-like terrain, the shadow of a haunted rent in the rock looming over all. Slaves roamed the streets, recently freed from the dominion of their masters, and capitalistic opportunities drove the arena and deadly races dominated by beasts from the mists of time. We left the band of adventurers in the den of the Fat Man, a recent hero and conqueror of the tyrants of Sandbilge. Set up in the shadowy recessed hideaway of what was once the treasury of a thriving slave community, the Fat Man now rests on sweat-covered silken pillows surrounded by sycophants and bootlickers. Bounty hunters, warriors, slavers, and soldiers of fortune crowd the room where the heroes just drew weapons and advanced on the Fat Man when he threatened violence on his translator lackey. The room drew their weapons as the threat grew serious, and everyone now waits to see who will act first. But across the canyon is one single adventurer. Pierce your heart. Just outside of the Spectre Fissure, as the one-time slaves have gathered around him, clattering bones on bone plates in this eerie rhythmic noise. Lolly had snuck slowly outside, breaking away from the main group where the Fat Man was, and headed because her detector was set off, and she is headed towards Pierce. Now, I want everybody to know each one of the intrepid adventurers have their own reason for going to Sandbilge. Jaith, he's always eager for an opportunity to overthrow tyranny and lay the literal groundwork for another Church of Jonathan, trying to reclaim the honor and glory of the church before it helped cause the downfall and the death of tens of thousands of beings and the extinction of dozens of races. Pierce, the urge to make money and turn a profit is always a motivator, but it falls a distant second when compared to the barely controlled urge to follow the built-in purpose that he's long fought against, the urge to create war and battle and conflict. Moggets, the swindler turned businessman, wants nothing more than an easy and cushy life, but he's taken to the road driven by a greater purpose and a mystical artifact given into his care by the goddess of nature herself. And then Lolly, which belongs in this space just behind me. The adventurous spirit of the time-traveling Rocairn is indomitable as she tries to link information from 600 years in the future to events forgotten in history. Traveling back and forth in pips and pops, she can only guess what the events transpiring in two different realities have in common and how they influence one another. And that's where we're going to pick up. Okay. Correct, looks unique. What? Everything's great. There we go. Okay. So yeah, Trin, that's what I was saying earlier, is Chris uses the normal mode instead of the dark mode. Now, Trin thought her name showed up as gray in the light mode. Is that not correct, Chris? Muted.
Nope.
Okay. So, Trin, you might want to just go set it to gray. Otherwise, yeah, people are just staring at 3 icons and a gap. So, okay.
I'm gonna run downstairs and get some ice real quick, or my drink.
Ice, baby. So, any questions, comments, anything to add to this before we start moving forward here?
Not I.
Okay. So let's move forward here. I do want to say before we get rolling, this also burns a little time and lets some other people get in. Thank you to everybody that's subscribed or given subscriptions to others, especially Trin and Chris, that has done the hell out of that. And some of you guys who are popping in because of that, make sure you say hello to them and thank them. Also want to remind you, you can invite your friends by clicking the share button just below the screen and sending it off on your favorite social media, or just grabbing the link and putting it wherever you want. Don't forget to do that, as well as when these guys do something awesome, like bring a huge bottle of spiced rum, maybe throw some bits and let them know how much you appreciate their spiced rum that you're not drinking and you're just watching them pour it in front of you and drink it in front of you. Bastards.
With dumplings.
With dumplings. God damn it. Oh, I think that's pretty much it. It's don't forget to join us tomorrow night for Talk of the Tavern, where we'll be discussing August's milestones, which includes Andrea and my 6th anniversary, Chris's birthday, Trin's birthday, a couple other events. Chris is so heavy breathing in the mic right now. Okay, let's get on with it.
I was wondering why you stopped talking.
I was debating on how to approach it and let you know without you putting it in your nose yet again.
Small windstorm coming through.
I have yet to find a way to do that. Apparently it did okay. How is it, Chris? I see that little O face.
It's good.
I don't know how I'm rolling dice tonight because you missed a lot, Trin. You missed everything. We're done. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Yeah! Woohoo! Adventure complete!
That's something you did here. Let me do this for the viewers on camera since you don't have the cat cam. This cat right here is laid in my dice box. Only half of her because it doesn't all fit. But yeah, there we go.
If I fits, I sits.
Yeah, well, she only quasi fits. Okay, let's move into the game now. So you guys are... Trin has changed it to a green now. It was pink, now it's green. It is just changing all over. Come on. Get on my lap.
Oh. No, run!
He was getting there anyway, he just thinks he's in trouble now. Okay, so, the room you're in, dark, broad, not big enough to whip up a lightning storm. Sorry about that there, Jaith. But it is close enough that in any round, if you're in the center of the room, you can move to any part of the room to attack. Now, if you're at one end and you want to move to the total other end, you're probably going to have to use a dash movement to get that far along. That sort of thing. So, we had some initiative set up here, which I would love to tell you about, but the cat is on the initiative notes. Zazzle, can I get in there? Is that okay? Zazzle? Okay. Come on. Good girl. Okay. Very good. Very good. Now I'm thinking don't get back in the box. Not back in box. Oh, I know, it's so rough. I have lost the initiative note, so good news, guys. We might even be able to start the game with another dice roll.
Ooh.
I know, we only had like 2 last game.
Done.
Yep. I'm not going to sit here and look for it. We're just going to roll some more dice. Everybody, roll initiative as Jaith drew weapons and stepped towards the master of the canyon. Now, by everybody, I mean Moggets, which is Aaron, Jaith, which is John,
Woo!
and then Chris, who is playing a NPC, a non-player character named Bubba. Bubba Fudd.
Hmm. He's a real Nimrod, ain't he?
Maybe. But he does hang out with Bob Fortune.
Uh-huh.
I rolled a 16.
If he doesn't get hit.
Muggets, what'd you get?
I got a 9.
Jaith?
I got a 19.
Oh, look at Jaith going first. You know what? She is back in the goddamn box.
Huh?
Well, you put the cat trap down. What did you expect?
Jaith, 19. Bubba is 16. Is that correct?
Correct.
Moggets was 9. Can I just drop this on you? I can't see what it is.
So yes, but no.
Okay. So the order is, if anybody wants to know, we're going to start with Jake, move to Bubba, go to Moggets, and then everybody else. Trin has... she's in another color yet. Chris always has to be the odd one out, doesn't he? Why is he the odd one out? What'd you do, Chris?
I don't know. Because
Okay.
I'm playing an NPC. I decided to run off and to have my own adventure.
Adventure!
He did.
There's
it's
a nice,
true.
there's a nice drum solo where he's at, though.
There
In a very
is.
creepy kind of way.
If by solo you mean, 50 or 60 people doing
50.
it all at the same time, it's
Mhm.
a group solo. Just don't let Bubba Fett know solos over there. I mean, Bubba Fudd. Okay, so Jaith, you get to act first as the fat man threatened violence towards the skinny, nervous translator lackey.
Well, I interposed in between the two of them. I'm just going to interpose my shield between him and said person.
Okay,
And
now,
I'll hold my action. I'll go on a defensive.
can you give me a quick
See what he does.
demonstration of what you mean by interpose your shield? Can you just act
Well, how
it
much
out for me?
taller is he than me?
No, he's sitting on a raised dais covered with pillows and the girl on his leg and the small angry monkey chattering around him. And so he is raised up, but he's reclining on the pillows.
I will put the shield between where if he struck said man, it would probably hit him.
Gotcha. So you're not like crouched down below the shield, hammer, grimace. You're just like
No.
sliding a shield between point A and
You're
point
not.
B.
You're not hitting this man.
You're just like, I'm that red stop sign on the side of a yellow school bus.
I
My
do
answer
stuff.
is nope.
That's right. Oh, somebody else said something. What'd they say?
I just peanut gallery.
Well, you must peanut louder, my peanutty friend. Okay, so you do that, and he looks at you. Give me a charisma roll, which I guess you can go with persuasion or intimidation if you'd rather. I'll let you use either one, because you are a personable priest.
Well, I will roll.
I mean, not both
persuasion.
things at the same time, but
And my persuasion is +7, so 20.
no, with a nice 20 there. Just gonna roll his other thing there. He pauses as he was reaching out to smack the insolent little bastard, which actually did nothing wrong, but yeah,
He was insolent,
he was.
obviously.
He was.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have been smacked.
It's very true. Good point. It's and then he raises his head back, lifting himself off his pillows. The whole room, as I said, they started to draw steel. You heard the sounds. And you can see one person in the back of the room who stands out in particular in his olive and maroon. Well, it's mostly silver, but it's got olive and maroon highlights, armor, and he's got a very Spartan warrior-looking helmet. And he stands there holding what be... you get the idea. But the fat man breaks out in a guttural laugh. And then he says something in that odd dialect from somewhere else on the continent that you guys aren't familiar with. And the translator guy steps forward. I have to stop myself from dropping the word droid in there. Steps forward and says, "Oh, His Grace says that he appreciates how you look out for the smaller people." The lackey translates to the Rocairn, who's half his height. And he says he will buy you the first round of drinks. And the music starts up again, and all the weapons slide back into sheaths, and the general murmur of conversation picks up again.
Well, I'll look over the translator and said, I hope he knows what a round is in Dwarven, or in Rocairn society.
The translator says, oh my, I have a bad feeling about this. And you guys are guided by a scantily clad woman who still has boils and lesions on her skin, even though she is scantily clad, essentially in a halter top and a long, loose, flowing skirt. But yeah, you can see the sores and the pus dripping, and she smiles at you. Good news, she has most of her teeth.
They haven't found meth yet. Wonderful.
Well, the day is young.
Indeed.
Actually,
But
it still
she's
is.
not.
Yeah. No. It's yeah, as I mentioned before, to clue of, don't put your tail on me, cat. To clue a few folks in case you weren't here for the last game, there are no children around. There was one child who seemed almost like a wild animal as he lurked behind buildings, wagons, or even on rooftops, watching you guys as you entered town. But other than that, you haven't seen a single person under probably 25. Though you have seen 3 different pregnant women. Including one in here. She looks pissed. So you guys are guided to a table where you're given drinks, which yes includes a small barrel of ale for the Rocairn. Moggets, what are you drinking?
I will order whatever the brandy is, and probably not actually drink it.
There we go. Look who stopped in. Our number 1 bit-throwing bastard. Drops him. How are you, man? Good to see you.
Drop.
And Drop says, order mead. That is more of a Chris drink there, isn't it? Yeah. Chris has kindly muted himself to eat his dumplings in front of us as we watch him delight in spiced rum and dumplings. I may have mentioned
Dumplings. What?
What?
What smells of sugar water and leaves a green spectral trail? Pierce to your heart.
It's the spectral trail is. Why does he smell of sugar water? No, I'm serious. I'm not
Edgar
kidding.
from friggin' Men in Black.
Oh, okay. It's the spectral trail, though. Yeah, it's, that part I got the Ghostbusters reference.
Oh no, yeah. They did it in when he does the in Men in Black when they were revealing the bug as well.
Oh, did he leave a spectral trail there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we'll see if Pierce is a cucaracha soon enough as his flesh rots off at an accelerated rate faster than any of you guys are dealing with. I mean, he's not.
Does a fat man have these?
Oh, yeah.
things growing on him.
Oh, yeah. Matter of fact, if you remember when I mentioned the bulbous protrusions and lesions and whatnot, he actually has colored ribbon and string wound between them in a design.
I didn't know if they were pus-like ones or they were just a deformity.
A lot of these, some seem harder and whatnot. Others are a little more corpulent and gooey.
Ooh,
So
tasty.
yeah, and each person seems to have a little bit of each. So some of them might be, a sty on steroids. Others might be some kind of. You don't think they're bony protrusions or calcium growths. Not that you're a doctor, but you've been around long enough to see an oddity or two in your time. Especially since the downfall and the talisman left the atmosphere. But, yeah, these guys definitely have something else going on. It's definitely some kind of sickness, illness, contagion. It looks like disease, but when you try to cure disease on Pierce, it didn't seem to catch.
Nothing that a lot of alcohol won't cure.
That's right. That's right.
Drink this keg.
Now, Chris, with that
Yes.
NPC, I allow you to play it any way you like. Just keep in mind where the loyalties lie.
Yep.
It's not with the players, just to clue you in case you're totally clueless.
Cold hard cash.
Nope.
Okay, you know what? There is that. But they are sitting in the ex-treasury room, so though the players have quite a bit
rich,
of money,
bitch.
they have quite a bit of money, it's probably not as much as a whole society built around slavery that got overthrown.
We could have resolved that last hour.
It's a... So...
Bubble will be like leaning up against a pillar, kind of in the back, staring them down.
Okay, you can even join them for a drink, however you want to do it. I'm just saying go ahead and take free, full control over the situation.
Yep. Nope, that's what he's gonna do. He doesn't like Rocairn.
Fucking Rocairn. He did notice the bearded female Rocairn that came in and then didn't even enter more than 2 steps in before she slid backwards. He also noticed the popple-like purse that she had that seemed to be mumbling to her. Apparently some kind of really adorable fucking demon that she's carrying around. It's not quite a fanny pack of holding yet.
But it could be. It'll hold as many apples as she can shove in.
From either end. Because it does have a mouth on one end, but it has anyhow.
It has a tail that hangs off the side.
That's not a strap to tie it down. So you guys get to drinking. Malkus, how heavily are you drinking this amber liquid that burns as it goes down?
I am not drinking any of it, actually. I am holding it and giving the impression of drinking.
Okay.
Everybody here is covered in pores or in sores and stuff.
Yes.
I don't trust anything in this town yet.
Even Jaith.
I especially don't trust Jaith.
And by the way, to clarify, yes, everybody is also covered in pores. Yeah. It's so you guys get to drinking or not. Now, what about you, Jaith? Are you partaking?
Whatever they gave me in that keg.
Okay. So it is an ale. It's a bit bitter and a bit weak, which isn't surprising considering the area you're in. Now, you're betting they have something better, because here's an interesting fact. I'm going to show these folks over here real quick. Give me a second while I grab.
Careful, it's a trap. He's going to show you his butthole.
Again. And again.
Just like a cat.
Trap.
It's a frap. I'm going to pop
a map.
this. It is a map, actually. So, they are not too far from something called Death's Pass. It had a fancier name sometime in history, probably 700 years ago. It was a human Rocairn Aphine combined thing that was opening a pass to help trade, and then bad things happened. Basically, the Underdark folks came up, the Dark Rocairn, the because we got gnomes, Snurvneblin, and whatnot. Basically, your darker.
The Demon's Taint. It was known as the Demon's Taint. Because it wasn't the devil's asshole, and it wasn't the angel's balls. It was the demon's taint.
See, if I knew that terminology when I was 14 and named this, it might have been called Demon's Taint instead of Death's Pass.
Well, you said it's now known as Death's Pass. It was the Demon's Taint.
No, it was a beautiful place. It was a combination of Rocairn, building technology, human stick-to-itiveness, elven magic with nature, or Aphine magic with nature, etc. And also, Terry Luyan is not too far to the north, a bit to the north, where everybody can... That's the dwarven main city there. So we've got that there. So what I'm saying here, Jaith, is there is a time and a place where they could get better fucking ale than what they gave you.
Yeah.
It's now looking around the room, let's see here. Everybody go ahead and give me a perception roll. And by the way, I'm totally surprised that didn't just collapse into combat right there. I'm so
am I.
surprised.
We still have a long way to go.
The night is
16.
16.
10.
18.
18. Okay.
Oh, sorry, 11.
Okay. Mongoose, you're just taking in the general atmosphere of the couple dozen people here. Jaith, you have noticed a statue of some sort behind you. Or not behind you, behind... it's a statue on a pedestal, and there are small globes of light around it. Magical light, which is, again, keep in mind, something you don't see that often in this land. There's not a plethora of magic, or people who can do magic. The fact that you have as many people as you do who can do such things is an oddity and a rarity. Even most priests in this land, they pray to their gods, but they're not gifted with magical abilities. And it's always been that way, but it's been even less since the downfall 30 years ago. But this statue...
Where's...
Mm-hmm,
go ahead.
No, please.
Where's Mr. Fortune at?
Mr. Fortune is standing there with his parchment...
He's at the club spinning records. Sorry.
I don't get the reference. Aaron has all kinds of... I don't know if Aaron is like...
I think Mr. Fortune is a DJ. I want to say that from like the 80s or 90s.
It might be. It's So Aaron's references are vague. I'm not just a little stupid today. And it could be both, really. It's Chris,
I'm here to amuse myself, thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, if you are amused, we'll be amused by you being amused. And Chris, if you decide to speak, please don't forget to unmute so we can all join in the conversation.
Fuck you!
Were you talking?
No, but apparently Mr. Fortune is a song by the Hitchhikers from 1970. Oh no, it was released in 2006.
Well, they're very similar years. I remember them both well.
But
So it was music related.
It was.
I got that right.
Okay. Yeah, Bob Fortune is moving between the fat man and a few other people. Look at Aaron using that Talk of the Tavern glass. John, you do have one of those, right?
I think I have one still somewhere.
If you don't, I have one to spare I can bring you.
I've got, I know I've got 2 Conquest ones.
I don't want to commercialize the program, but Talk of the Tavern makes an excellent cup. and you should subscribe to their podcast whenever possible, or their radio show, or Discord, or whatever they do.
Like tomorrow.
The greatest support ever. By the way, it's a
Or
glass,
that
not a cup.
button up there in the corner that says subscribe.
There we go.
He's the minister of misdirection for us.
Yes. It's
Trust me, I'm a wizard.
So you can see Bob Fortune being followed around by Gamma, his missing-nosed, heavy-set companion who guards him, and he seems to just be taking care of business, what a major domo would do in this type situation. You know.
Question.
Yes.
Does he have a little necklace that says TCB with a lightning bolt on it? And can he, if he does not, already have it in your head?
What's TCB mean?
Taking care of business. Elvis gave out little necklaces that said TCB with a lightning bolt.
Did he really?
He did. All of his staff had them.
Well, he's actually receiving some kind of glinty. This is what you were focused on, which is why you ain't gonna notice shit else. He was actually. You see the glint of gold of jewelry being handed to him with the TCB and the lightning bolt as he slides a document over to somebody else who's giving it to him.
Care of business.
Well, I'm going to tap the translator on the shoulder.
You will have to move back across the room, which is no problem.
I'll head over there.
And if the translator isn't taking care of anything, he's not going to be right up on. Very good. That is
TV. Sweet.
It looks like tab.
It actually says it's got the C above at the top of the lightning bolt.
I see that.
Yeah.
See that. Yeah, you walk up to the translator lackey.
Can you assist me with something?
Oh, I can try. What can I help you with?
This statue, what is it?
Oh, that is one of the men who ran this establishment before the fat man showed up. He was quite the scoundrel, and they had him petrified and put up as a trophy here in the fat man's room to show what happens to people that oppose the fat man.
Who petrified him?
Well, obviously the fat man.
Oh, that was weird. Everything went dark for a second.
I don't know. Is it a stroke? Wait, everything goes white then, doesn't it?
Hey,
It smells like toast.
goes burbly, gurgly.
My danger word is ammonia.
Ah. Well, I asked him, well, who petrified him?
He doesn't seem to know who petrified him. It was some sort of magic used to do it. But he doesn't know if it was one of the mystical beasts, because there are none here. He assumes perhaps it was a spell. But, yeah, he doesn't know.
I'm going to go over and look at the said statue.
Okay.
Does it, since it's a petrified person, does it show the signs of any of these people? The pus marks and any of the afflictions that they seem to have?
Yes, as the statue stands there in front of you, like he was holding up his hands from something that was happening. Yeah, but slighter. It's not as pronounced. It is more muted, and you're unsure if he just was less affected, or another thought that enters your head is perhaps he had them and they healed. Not necessarily magically, though perhaps magically. Him being a statue at this point in time, you're not sure. And by statue, I mean he is not frozen flesh, petrified flesh. He is stoned, dude. Yo.
Well, the key thing is either they're bringing something that's causing more of it, or yes, he was being healed from it. But everybody in here has it, so anyways.
It does appear so, yeah. And you know, some of these guys, or you're guessing, you haven't necessarily talked to too many people, but some of these guys may have only been here for a couple of weeks. You would think the fat man, there's something else going on there. He's definitely got it going on. Boneless is back. Welcome back, Boneless. How did the photo shoot go? No,
Hi,
I'm ignoring
Boneless.
you. It's oh, Boneless. Chris, Kavlon, wave at the camera. Boneless. That's Kavlon. And Aaron, put your damn hand down. What's wrong with
What?
you?
Utter confusion now.
That's right. Chaos. God damn it. The fuck is
Except
wrong?
for his name says Chris Hall underneath.
It's a. There you go. Boneless was looking for you earlier, Chris.
Uh-oh.
Because apparently you slept with his mother. No, I'm kidding. It was his dog. I'm kidding. It was his sister cousin.
Hey, you know what? Whenever I go through the drive-thru over at McDonald's over here, I go, "Hey, is Drake working?" And they go, "Yeah." I let him know, "Hey, tell him I slept with his mom."
Just to clarify, Drake is Aaron's son. That's great. That's great. Now, have you really done that?
Oh yeah. Oh no. So this was about 3 weeks ago or so. Went through the drive-thru, got to the front window. I see him in the background. And I go, "Hey, go grab Drake over there." She's like, "Huh?" I was like, "Hey, I banged your mom." And he goes, the girl, probably 18, 19, she has this horrified look on her face, and Drake goes, "Hi, Dad." And then all of a sudden it dawns on her, and she starts laughing. She's like, "Oh, you're funny."
Oh, I thought Travis meant, did you actually sleep with your wife? Not.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh, no.
Once, 19 years ago.
It was the best night of Drake's life. So, anyhow, okay.
I was told that I was not allowed to yell that out at his graduation, though.
Well, to help ease the tension in the room, I'm going to start praying and sermonizing here in the bar.
That always
up on a table.
That always lowers tension in any room. By the way, there
does.
is a band playing, and they are playing The Boys Are Back in Town, or something equivalent in D&D.
Or whatever that Star Wars music was. What was it, Jizz? I think it was.
It is something close to jizz.
I believe that actually is the official word for it, or was until they changed it.
Well, I'll go over to them and ask them if they can play something a little bit more somber and rocairn, with a nice
dirge-like feel.
Dirge, yeah.
With a constant drum beat. Something
just, lower the volume a bit so that I can be heard more than them.
Something that would go well with a Viking funeral, please.
Indeed.
It's okay. They look at you expectantly and then look down at the ceramic urn in front of them.
I pick it up for them and count it out for them. Yep, it's got that much in it.
They're like, "We'll see if we can fill your request at some time in the future."
Well, depending on how well you play, I'll see if I can fill up the rest of the urn.
Excellent. We love to be paid on maybes. That's great. Why don't you set our money down now and move along, little man?
And not based off of this weak ale that's here. I can fill it up with that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You. Appreciate that. Yeah, we'll get to that request. We'll get right on that.
Well, what's actually in it? That's what I cared about. Like, what are people paying them?
There is a variety of things. There are some coins and whatnot, and you see coins from different kingdoms. There's definitely some.
I got a customer. Hold
on.
Go ahead.
I am going to shift over to Pierce for a moment. Because honestly, handing you this NPC was with the thought and intention that this was just collapsing into combat and it wanted to give you something to do so you didn't have to sit there and do nothing the whole time.
Now he gets to have two characters he doesn't play. Oh, wait.
At this end of the game, Bubba will go up a level, but none of your other characters. It's, so...
Wait. Can I make a character to go with him, and then we won't engage in combat on that side either?
I'm going to quickly sideline us. Has everybody watched a trailer for Mandalorian?
Yes.
No, I have not actually.
There's a new trailer that hit, and I tell you what, just got a little wood when I saw IG-88 flick into action.
Well, I would probably get normal size wood, but let me check it out real quick.
I wasn't that excited. I was a little excited.
Although you were right, that ship does look like it belongs in the Firefly universe.
Yeah, it fucking looks like a goddamn Firefly. The Serenity, etc. Okay, Aaron's going to check that. We're going to move over here to Pierce. I keep on wanting to say Kavlon, god damn it. At least you didn't name it, some variety of Kavlon like your other characters, and I would have been very confused.
Just you wait.
Now,
because Pierce is his persona. He has a regular name.
Oh, does he?
Uh-huh.
Okay. It's now, Chris, you did not arrange a being from a different world with me, so I'm going to be working in a little bit of backstory here. I do allow you to mold it and shape it as you will, but we're going to make it fit in my world. You're not from this world. You're from a different world. But 30 years ago, when the Truod started opening portals to other dimensions, pulling in demons, other things came through, such as the Muppet Born, as well as since then. It wasn't just 30 years ago. It could have happened last week. We don't know. So you're allowed to decide how long you've been here and whatnot, but you originate somewhere else. You're not native to this reality, to this dimension, to this world. And you feel, as you watch these people creep towards you, some of them on wooden crutches, a lot of them hunched. The sores definitely look more pronounced on these people than they do anyone else over there that you've seen in the merchant district. And the merchants are generally clean, and previously there was some sickness, but you've never seen it like that here. This is definitely something new, and as I said, it's been 2 or 3 years. Oh, Trin. Notice Trin has a different color package now, because yes, even women can have packages.
Oh yeah.
So, I told her your misery about wishing that you could be get your old package color back.
It's true.
You can order them from Amazon and get whatever color package you want.
Generally, mine's either flesh-colored, purple, or blue, depending on what went on that day.
Anyway.
Good, bad, or indifferent.
So, does the Mandalorian take place before or after A New Hope?
After Return of the Jedi.
Oh, after he escapes from the Sarlacc pit?
Yeah, which...
Because I don't think it's Boba Fett. It's another
No, it is
Mandalorian.
not Boba Fett. In fact, he has the gun that Boba Fett had in the Christmas special. They redid it. They made it in real life. But anyhow, no, it is not Boba Fett at all. But he is still a bounty hunter. And it's called The Mandalorian. Andrea will be home after 8 o'clock. Trin.
Okay.
So, the other thing to realize, yeah, it takes place after the original trilogy, from what I understand. Chris, is that correct, as far as you know? Yeah. As well as the new animated series coming out with Ahsoka and Ezra in it. That's what I understand. I understand they're redoing Rebels, but it's after everything. After Return of the Jedi. Now, that is old news, so that might have changed. It might no longer be current. Feel free to let me know if I'm wrong and what was really happening, but not right this second. We're going to get back to that.
D23 should be coming up, so we'll probably get more news then.
Oh, it's already out. D23 is ongoing.
Last week.
Was it last week?
Yeah, there's all kinds of fucking trailers that dropped that aren't available to the public, because apparently you can't just hold up a camera phone and record it and put it on YouTube when you're in Disney.
They stopped that shit.
Yeah.
So,
anyway.
Yeah, there was like 3 trailers like, this trailer dropped, but we can't show it to you. Okay, so they're coming towards you. You feel a static spark on your right temple. Now, you're facing to the north, which means the crevice is behind you. These guys are to your right. Okay? The spark, when your head instinctively jerks that direction, you see there in the distance, way over there by the racetrack, there's Lolly. And she's holding that odd device you've seen her with once or twice, fiddling with the dials and staring at you. Now we'll come back to you in a little bit.
Well, that can't be good.
Uh-oh.
It's, you asked for the music. They are apparently not going to give it to you. The type of money in there are some IOUs and scraps. Most of it written on leather as opposed to parchment or paper. But yeah, you do see some Rocaran coins. It's mostly human currency from various kingdoms. There is a standard currency, but everything has fallen to shit in the past 30 years since the kingdoms collapsed and the economy collapsed. So, yeah.
Well, I'll drop a coin from the dragon's hoard in there.
Okay, tell me what color that coin is when it falls.
Well, I think we took all platinum, so.
Well, I assume you took a vast majority of platinum, but you're not going to leave without a handful of copper and silver and gold, too. That'd be idiocy to expect everybody to break a $100 bill every time you pay for a drink.
And I had gold and silver and stuff.
Right. So, yeah, you can absolutely choose, I'm dropping 3 silver in, or 5 gold, or 1
Well, I was more asking, like, what was the biggest denomination I saw in
it is quite a oddity of combinations, but generally gold is the highest you're seeing. And
well, I'll drop a gold piece in there then.
Okay. But yeah, you get the idea. They're being paid a lot in favors. What's your passive perception, real quick?
15, I think.
15, you think? Jay's passive perception, 15. You are correct, sir. At the quick glance, you can see a lot of the IOUs or favors or whatever the things that are written down. It could be anywhere from dinner to shelter to whatnot. And Trin, I am going to, yes, absolutely ignore you. Here's what I'm going to say. Yeah, play with the commands, have a good time. We're low on people, and I think everybody here is going to understand. So no worries, play with the things. If any of the other viewers get annoyed, they'll harass you. And we will too, because that's what we do. So,
Ta-da!
yeah, they, as you drop money in, and you said what kind? Was it
I put a gold piece in there since it seems to be above what everybody else put in there.
Okay, well, there was gold in there, just not a lot. 1, 2, something like that. You got it, Trin. We could do that. Chris with the drinks. I'm just going to have to go reset everybody so Chris has something else to give people.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's, and that is not me bitching about you giving it to him, Chris. It's just considering any emote they use only costs 10. They have enough for a lifetime. You're muted, dude. What?
Not if they drink a lot. Yeah.
That's true. It's but yeah, as you begin speaking in what you like to think of as high Rocaran, it's a little fancier, but it still keeps the speech simple. Just the gestures and the technique that goes with it is a bit higher. Because the point Rocarans try to make with the high speech of Rocaran is not to overwhelm or impress anybody, but keep it on the most basic level. Just make it pretty. It's like a simple garden, but it's with words or stone. Any good stonework, intricate doesn't mean beauty. Simplicity is beauty, and if you can make simplicity attractive, you've done something far better than boneless. I'm a perception 1 in real life.
Yeah.
It's so as you begin speaking to the room and doing this performance or whatnot, Bob sidles up to you. And he says, he whispers in your ear, well, more like whines into your ear. Yes, well, if you're going to do this, there will be a small fee for the license for proselyte religious stuff.
And here I thought you wanted an open society. You stopped slavery, and yet you're going to bind them through other means.
Oh, I
Wonderful.
understand your confusion. If you don't like it, I will gladly have you escorted to the edge of the property, and you can find your way from there. But for just a small donation to the fat man. Of course you may speak of your religion and your God, no matter what somebody else thinks about it.
Did you say it?
Indeed I did.
Oh. Well, I need to get back to my proselytizing, as you said. But thank you for the warning.
There will be a license required. You will have to pay before you can do this.
I've already done it, and we'll continue, but
he interrupted you like 30 seconds in.
Okay.
Gamma is stepping in closer, and you can see other people in the room once again eyeing you.
Well, so there's a bar here, correct?
There is. And it's a small bar. Usually it's the women delivering drinks. They are a middleman money-making thing.
Right.
Bubba Fuds will, like, very obviously load the crossbow and, like, start walking slightly closer.
I will go to the bar and say, how much to buy all your... Well, the thing that was in the keg that I drank.
You want all our ale?
Sure.
Three mounts, only one horse. I'll require two other things.
How about in gems or in gold or platinum?
Oh, jeez. You want to use money? Sure. Let's do money. Let's say 1,000 gold. As he throws out...
Thomas makes interesting face over in the corner.
As he throws out what should be an absolutely fucking ridiculous number.
Is that
Here's
also considered that it's delivered where I want it?
No. You can reach around behind here and grab these 6 jugs I have.
Give him a reach around.
Oh, it's you.
Who else would it be?
Did somebody else say something about 10,000?
Not that I heard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not that I heard.
Okay. 6 kegs, 1,000 gold. All right. Who would like to have a couple kegs of ale on me down in the courtyard?
Let's do this. We're going to have you now. Give me a little something more here. Have Jaith be a little personable instead of just throwing out one sentence. Throw something a little more at me, John, and then I will give you a bonus to your persuasion roll to see how much of the room you could bring with you.
Well, I'll get up on the table then. Ladies and gentlemen, by the grace of Jonathan, I plan on quenching your thirst. I merely ask that you help me take this ale from this fine establishment down into the courtyard. And then we'll talk about how we're going to help, put an end to the problems that this society seems to have currently.
Okay.
In the background, Alakazam and Abracadabra, minor illusion, and prestidigitation to make him everything kind of draw attention to him in his background so that they have all eyes on him.
Very good. You have a spotlight over you, but it's a gentle blue spotlight. And then it has this weird ripple in the air. You know when you're watching the movie and the one person that the camera's focused on seems to zoom closer to the camera without actually moving, where the whole... Everybody seems to feel that. And they're all eyes on you. Give me a persuasion roll with your modifiers, and I'm going to add extra modifiers on top of that.
Oh, nice.
Aaron, you don't need to roll. I'm just having you assist. I'm throwing extra mods for that.
Oh, okay, because I have advantage on this when I'm doing stuff like that.
I rolled a natural 20, so it's 20.
Aaron had happy dust today.
Sweet.
It's
great to be a magic user.
Yeah, with a natural 20, and with your modifiers, and then the modifiers of the little bit of roleplay there, and the modifiers of Aaron throwing some shit. Aaron, what were you saying you have advantage?
Oh, with the acting and the persuasion, and that's one of my specialty skills, I have an advantage to add stuff to him.
Are you participating directly?
No, indirectly, but I'm trying to get the illusions and stuff behind him.
Then
best.
I'm not going to give you the advantage. The advantage would be because you are personable and you attract the eye. So if you want to play Vanna White to his Pat Sajak, I'm going
to be his beautiful assistant.
Yeah, if you are,
Actually, more like Genie. Oh, the 29 golden camels. Oh, he's so beautiful. Oh,
Exactly.
You should check him out. Yes.
Exactly. Okay, give me a roll with advantage.
Well, the first one was a 17.
Not bad.
Oh, no. That's 17 unmodified.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Plus 10. Oh, plus 26.
Oh, wow. That's impressive with a 17. Well, that's not... That's right, you do have each of you have, like, one thing that's fucking amazing. Maybe 3 for some of you. It's,
Yeah, I got Jonathan, so...
I put little circles around the people that have, like, a 7 or above in any given thing, and yet each of you have at least... Fuck, I think everybody's got 2 or 3 circles in their skill set. Okay. So, yeah, it's, you get the majority of the room. It looks like 75% of the room is like, okay, we'll carry it. And they all kind of go forward and grab the barrels and put it on their shoulder. And Bob is right at your side. He's like, of course. You realize if you're going to speak of religion anywhere in the valley at all, there is still going to be this fee. It's very reasonable. It's just a small donation.
I'm gonna as everybody's kind of moving out there. I grab Bob. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm sure this fee can be waived as a one-time thing. I mean, he is donating beer to the inhabitants, and friggin', what's the big deal for the guests of the Fat Man? He did say drinks were on him this evening. We wouldn't want to upset the Fat Man on this special occasion.
Very good. Hold that thought. Did Jath actually slide 1,000 gold worth of gems or platinum or whatever?
Well, I gave him platinum.
1,000 gold worth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. Just checking that before everybody fucking leaves with the ale.
It'd be so great if they didn't.
What'd you say there, Chris?
Here's 10 platinum.
Now, here's what we're going to do. Bubba is lingering back. She doesn't say Bubba won't show up in a few moments, but Bubba is lingering back for now. So, the vast majority...
I saw him load a crossbow over there.
He did.
He said he was obvious about it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, okay.
Yeah. It's and I love how you're playing this, John, that you're not just bullying into the shop like you sometimes do, that you're actually being reasonably cautious. Because I'm not saying you can't kick the whole room's ass, I'm just saying it might be a challenge. So, look at that wisdom playing into Jath. Something he doesn't often necessarily throw right in front of him.
I lowered the odds. I'm taking a chunk with me.
No, you're doing great. It's I love the tact you took with this. Okay, so yeah, Moggets, as Bob Fortune scurried over to you. Mogget scurries over to him and cock blocks him, whispering in his ear and gesturing, and there's a glint of metal rolling across Mogget's knuckles and then disappearing, and then his hand, and you see some small glimmer of magic as the crowd follows you out the door. Mogget's Bob seems... Yeah, you got him. You got him. He's okay with that. He's a... Yes, well, that is all a fine point, but only this evening.
Oh, of course, of course.
It's, the donation for the ale, of course, covers all the costs that the license for tonight would end up costing. And he's stroking those long, two single dreadlock knotted braids of his, and you can see the insects crawling across his fingers the same way you just rolled. I don't know if it was magic. I don't know if it was a coin. I don't know if it was a small bladed dagger. I don't know what you rolled across your fingers, but you rolled something across him. And, yeah, he seems quite very okay with this.
I assume Bob Fortune's going to follow Jath out?
He is lingering. You get the feeling, yes, he's definitely going out there. He's fucking watching what's going on. But he's not joining the crowd.
Oh, I got you. I'm going to wait just a couple seconds, hang back. I'll grab one of the burlier guys in the crowd, and kind of like from Ocean's 11 when Elliot's character does this, I'll go, oh yeah, hey, what do you think of the party and all this stuff? Blah, 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 blah. Get your ass outside. And try to usher more people out there.
Like intimidating them?
Just one of those, you're a dumbass, get out there. But not a real intimidate, more of a hard persuasion.
Okay, a strong arm persuasion as opposed to, I will fuck your shit up if you don't get out there. Just like, hey, be smart about this one. Okay.
Yeah, get your ass in the house.
Okay, now,
or out of the house.
Out of the 30 or so people that were here, you probably got 25 of them, leaving the fat man, the woman on his leg, the chittering monkey, the lackey. Those are not included in those 30. Of course, Gamma is sticking with Bob. And Bubba there, who you've heard his name in whispers. As you were not paying attention, you definitely heard about Bubba. Now, go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your wife. I'll be damned if I'm interrupting a wife.
No, that was the kid. He's like, I'm going to go get a bag of tacos. How many would you like?
That's it.
All of them.
No. So I have a rule, okay, and this comes from years of experience when dealing with office politics and whatnot. Oh, hey, we're doing a lunch run. What would you like is a bad question. My rule is, I'm going to go get a bag of tacos. How many would you like? Oh, I'd love a chalupa. No, I said I'm getting a bag of tacos.
That is correct.
How many?
That is wisdom as opposed to intelligence.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is 7:06.
It is. I'm going to direct us towards a break in just a moment. Though, Chris, if you need one right this second, please feel free to take it there. But this place we're coming up to is a good place to take a break for a moment because I do need a refill.
Okay. I got one other thing I want to do in the bar area as things kind of fade out, just to give you a heads up.
Give me another persuasion roll as you try
It's a sleight of hand roll, not a
That's exactly what it is.
No, I need a persuasion for the big guy to get him to go out there.
Oh, okay. 27 for my first roll. It is persuasion. I get an advantage.
Are you rolling percentile, motherfucker?
Persuasion, yeah. And the other one was a 25, so 27.
Okay, good enough. Yeah, big guy is
Hey, that's my one skill.
He says, I'm Clyde. I'm your
Hi,
man.
Clyde.
I'm your man, Moggets. I'm your man. Okay? I'm Clyde. You need me? My last name, Dale. Okay? You can call me Mr. Dale in front of the others. They will respect that shit. I got your back, motherfucker. I will kill a man in the fucking daylight if you tell me to. And you
friggin',
look
you know
great.
what?
Look great
you know
in
what?
those pants.
I like a man like you. Friggin', I pull out a couple gold pieces. I friggin' put them in the palm so that nobody else sees us. I slap his hand there like a good firm handshake. but so that he knows he's been tipped.
Yeah, he holds your hand slightly longer than he probably should have, and he says, "I like a man like you too." And then he turns and sashays out the door.
Hey, everybody's always a little bit gay.
That's right, some of us, a little more than a little. Okay, so what else do you want to do before you head out, and then we're going to take a break?
I want to steal 1,000 platinum.
1,000 platinum?
Well, no, sorry, 1,000 gold
God,
worth of I want to steal 1,000 gold worth of platinum.
10!
Well, okay, he just paid the bartender, took the beer out of there. He's got platinum, he's flush. I may as well get that back.
Moggets, I
Dude, that's
have...
what...
Okay, we've all seen the shirt I wore today, right?
Indeed.
World's okayest DM. I ordered this just for gaming. I have other shirts in there, including one that says, when the DM asks, "Are you sure?" Listen. And I'm going to ask, "Are you sure?"
Well, okay. Did I see where he put the platinum?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is he kind of watching Jath and all those guys disappear?
No.
Is
Because
he watching me? He's watching the fat man. He's watching me. What's he doing?
he's cleaning up. He's done. There's nothing else to serve here. There's like 8 people left. So he's taking care of his little bar. His little bar is probably only 4 foot across, 2 foot wide. It's got shelves underneath. It's got a few shelves behind him. He's got a money box underneath there that he already dropped the stuff into. You would have to go around the counter, below his waistline, into a box to get the money. So yes, you can. What's it, Chris? What's the what am I looking for here? What is it? Redeem try? Yeah. Let's do
Challenge accepted.
redeem try. So
Make a wisdom
Certainly
roll.
try.
but I will just ask, are you sure?
Well, no. And I'm working out the mechanics in my head. Can I use a mage hand to get underneath there, grab open the box? Because I can do minor manipulations with it, combined with my minor illusion so they can't see me freaking do. Because 100 platinum's 2 rolls of quarters.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not that big. It doesn't weigh
It's
that
not
much.
that big, but let's pick up 80 salami slices with a hand that can do minor manipulation.
What? No. Because I'm assuming that he gave them to him in a bag.
No.
No, he just slapped here.
But that's a great assumption. I appreciate you trying to wheedle that one in.
Okay, now how much does the box itself? Okay, I will keep this in mind for later use because I'm going to steal that platinum.
That's fine. It just would not be the wisest course of action right this moment.
Good to go. Again,
Yeah.
Moggets is a sleazeball.
Yeah, and absolutely,
And
you could
knows there's
try it right now, but in all likelihood, you know that whole combat thing we were worried about in the beginning? It might roll out right that second.
Yeah, but there's only 5 of them now.
It's true. Okay, let's take a break here as everybody heads out across the canyon. It is probably about 1 in the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. You can see the time marks on the wall. We'll be right back. I'm going to refill a drink here. Is anybody staying? Okay, everybody's bailing. John, do you need to close up shop or anything that takes extended amount of time?
I'm going to close out the register is all.
Okay, so he'll be a
Doesn't
couple
take
minutes.
that long.
Chris, when
Right.
you get back and I get back, we will do a little bit more with Pierce. Okay. And
Tea break.
So far, this has been a fun fucking thing. What are you guys thinking? Trin, I know it's your first time watching the game, and I see we got a few other fresh sets of eyes. What I want to encourage you guys, if you guys don't know about the store down below, you can go, like I just did with the little gift that popped up there with, you can certainly try. Oh, thank you, Boneless. Love your heart, man. And there are a series of D&D related. Yes, I'm the Dungeon Master, narrator, referee, whatever phrase you want to use, game master. Basically, I play everybody that's not a character. So yeah, I'm running the thing. I run everybody who is not their characters they're playing. So, and when they do pop back, I am going to step away and refill my drink, but I didn't necessarily want to leave everybody with nothing here. So, yep, this is the break to ask. And, so yeah, I want you guys to realize you can go down there in the store and there are gifts that you can play, such as a failed dice roll. What else we got here? Oh, there is like a dozen of them. Failed dice roll, apologize, charged, panic, rocks fall and kill everybody, wizards, you can certainly try, etc. So feel free to throw those up at the appropriate times. It's a good time. It's creating a story on the fly with them playing one character and me telling them the results in the larger world. So I may play one NPC, which stands for non-player character. They're players, they have a character, they're playing a player character. NPCs is the abbreviation for the rest. Okay. Yeah, Aaron got his kitsune mask there, and Chris got rum. So I'm going to let you talk to them as my cat lays back in my dice box, and I'll be right back as I refill my drink. Good times, good times. I'm entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Okay, guys. Did Chris and Aaron talk to you the whole time and keep you entertained and engaged?
Nope. I sat down and said, "Are you not entertained?" And then I went back to character editing.
Very good. Trin has been talking to Aaron the whole time. Did Aaron speak to her? Nope.
No, because I don't believe he's got
No.
chat up.
Yeah, he
Something fun for you to know.
Ooh!
It gave Bubba Fuds the gladiator background.
Oh, good.
So he's probably very highly ranked in the gladiator pits, I would imagine. And is a bit of a folk hero because of it.
Okay. So what is that?
I also just added him to the campaign so that you can edit. I don't know if you can edit him.
Maybe,
I should
maybe
figure
not.
out how to transfer him to you so you can edit him in the future.
I'll be able to view him and print him. I know that. What is that? Is that a bottle opener? Are you muted?
It does look like a... Oh, it's a Sailor Moon bottle opener.
It is a Sailor Moon bottle opener.
Oh, and what's with the fox mask?
Yeah, because I'm a stone cold fox.
What are you drinking?
Not your father's root beer.
Oh,
Nice.
I have some Younglings Black and Tan in the fridge. Which actually, after I got my oil change, I tipped 4 of those to the mechanics that did the oil change. It was,
Smart move.
you know, it was afterwards, but when I brought it in, because I went grocery shopping and picked it up, and they saw it, and they're like, "Oh, you can." I didn't, and the customers were also like, "Yeah, we can." And when it was all said and done, I'm like, "Look, dude, if you were serious about that, I will bring some in, one for each of you and your guys and girls." But I don't know who's 21, so I'm not just fucking handing beers to people.
Yeah, I think I may have given a minor a little bottle of
What is this? The 80s? You can't do that anymore.
I'm in
Gin.
Tappahannock. Yeah, 80s. Yeah. Oh, by the way, a few
I've
things.
been there. I was there this week. Yeah,
Yay.
the 80s.
Let me read a few comments here since we're in the break. Boneless. I'm still curious about your business. What do you got there? You got a link for your work there? Your photography work? Trent says, I'm 21. And right, good to see you, man. Thanks for swinging by and dropping in the middle of it all. You missed the recap, so too bad, so sad, but I could tell you about it some other time. Other than
Suck
that,
it.
I think Ryan is still hanging out. At least his name is still in the list. Spellcraft, which I think is a bot, is one of the people that were gifted a sub. And I especially want to throw a little bit of love and appreciation towards Trin. Because, Chris, you remember last time when Cogsley got a subscription from you?
Yes.
It ran out today. And because of that, when he would post things like Lurk, it wouldn't pop up, which it didn't this time either because it's got Stream Elements instead of Cogsley. But, yeah, she gifted a sub to Cogsley so he can do the in-house doohickeys, whatchamacallits there. Which apparently Cogsley has gone to bed and it's just Stream Elements now. Post your Instagram,
Cogsley.
Boneless. Let us see your work, man. I think we can all appreciate some good photography, and if you totally suck, we will not tell you.
What?
If it's all just like the top half of the head or the bottom half, we'll be like, wow, okay, good, nice to see.
Rule of
Good
thirds,
try.
man. Rule of thirds.
That's the rule of how much I should eat if I actually want to lose weight. A third of what I normally eat, right?
Yes, let's go with that.
Look at the look John gave. Like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you people?
God put us here to eat.
It's okay. So we're all back. Let's get rolling. Hey! It's okay. Chill out, motherfucker. It's okay.
Is that Skeeter the cat?
No. One of the younger cats, Harryhausen cat, came too close to Zazzle, and Zazzle is like, "I will cut a bitch."
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I
I
have.
was gonna ask if that was Azel.
That
it
was-
looks like her butt.
that is a Zazzle butt. She's the one that keeps on climbing in the. Okay, let me
The dice bucket.
click on Boneless. Oh.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Okay, I like what Andrea's gonna like what you're doing here. I'm gonna take a moment and say, everybody, click on that Instagram link if you have Instagram. Check out the
I
lizard
like
on the
the
statue.
long light exposure.
Well, there's a few in particular that are standing out to me. The little roly player piano type thing, which is the 10th picture from the top.
Oh, the music box.
Yeah, thank you. And there's like a lizard on a statue. Okay. Very good. And now I know his real name. It's But I can stick with boneless if you like. I don't need to use your real name. Your call. Okay, let's get back to the game. Let's get this taken care of. So, we're jumping over to Pierce there just for a moment as he is being surrounded by these folks, and the spark clicks, just like a bit of static cling, like when you touch a door in the winter. There was that right here, and he turned and noticed Lolly fiddling with her device, and then you see a spark. And you know, on TV, when people like static out, they get like that wavy line and disappear. She gets that and disappears.
Do we hear wong, and she fades, or
you're not there? You're inside the building.
Oh, all right. Does he hear wong, and then she fades?
No, because she is.
Sorry,
like,
I messed up my pronouns.
She is like 800 or 900 feet away from him. It's if we take a look at the Boneless's Bay. I don't know, as old people, I don't know if we can actually use the word bay without like getting a little phlegm in our throat every time we use that fucking phrase.
I still don't know what that word really means.
It's a shorter version
Before
of baby.
anyone else is what bay stands for.
No, I know what it stands for, but I don't really know what it means.
It's a shorter version of baby. That's all. Yeah, fucking baby.
Or babe.
Yeah. They just went, oh, we got 3 letters here, let's make it mean something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've been calling you Bay off air the whole time. Looking at the what?
Okay. I was like, I would call it a bunch of things, but I'm not allowed to say any of those words anymore. So.
Really?
Oh yeah. Well, you can't you can't drop the R word, you can't drop the G word, you can't drop the F word. What can't? Monica's favorite word, I can't use that.
Wait. Tell me the letters again. G.
Yeah, G. That's gay.
Oh. Okay. And R is retard.
Yes.
What was the other one? F word?
F. That's fucked.
We could say fucked all day long on it.
I know. And then Monica's favorite word is country without the R in it.
No, you can say cunt on this channel.
Yeah, I know. But that's just happens to be her favorite word.
Yeah, it's we have an emote that down the side, the 4 words that form the emote spell cunt.
See you next Tuesday.
No, control yourself, naughty troll.
Control yourself, naughty troll.
Yeah, but it's you-ourself as opposed to Y-O-U-ourself. Okay, so let's get back to this. Looking at the map here, what we're looking at is, if you guys see that oval of the arena, Lolly would have been just near that, whereas Chris is all the way on the far left of the map, just between the tent city, which are all the little gray dots, and that gray crevice in the wall.
Right, he's firmly in the devil's asshole, and she's just a Klingon on the outside.
Hold on, that might be her saying she's on her way home. No, it's not. It's the Boy Scouts emailing me right with this conversation.
Look, we have some concerns about your show. Don't get me wrong, we love you, but Aaron's got to go.
It just says, we need to talk. Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you see her... Now, you guys have seen her disappear before, but never actually seen the act of it. She just seems to disappear.
Well, normally she just steps back into the bushes and disappears that way.
Okay, I'm talking about her character, not her personally.
Oh.
I've
got something to do over here.
She Homer fades all the time. It's not quite as cool as Chris and his rolling back from the... Can you fade for us, Chris? Can you just do this for me real quick? Would this be the day he hasn't blurred his background? Yes, it would be.
Oh no!
Yeah, you gotta blur the background and do it just a hair faster.
Well, he's got to do it so the camera catches it.
Because I did the update.
Gotcha. There you go.
There it goes.
Okay. So I need to give Kavlon some attention here, at least for a few minutes, because you guys are coming out into the area where he is. Now, John, do you have a copy of Sandbilge available to you? Did you download it from the Google document or have it where you can pull it up in the Google
You
document?
mean the map?
Yeah, of the area, of the town.
I do.
Okay.
I
So
don't have it up, but I can.
I assume when you decide you want to do your preachy thing, you probably want to be in a larger open area. Am I correct in that?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, I'm going in front of Pierce's stall.
Okay. Well, that's still kind of a larger.
It's a nice
open...
big area.
It is. It is. Now, to the left of it, if you're looking at the map, is that correct?
Yes.
So yeah, larger open area. So what I'm saying is you're not right by the track or between the racetrack and the arena. You're going over there, which is what
I'm between one and his, in his stall.
You got it.
Kind of.
Which is kind of what I expected, somewhere in that
pit
area.
Yeah. Yep.
I just didn't want to tell you where you're going. If you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay. So, yeah, and just so everybody knows, Andrea should be leaving work any time now and heading this way. Oh, speaking of Andrea, there she is. She's got a...
The almighty Bob Ross.
That is kind of fucking cool that she's got, like, flaming warlock hands. Where the hell did she get that? That is a cool emote.
Are those some of the general ones?
Yeah, they are. That is a global...
Pixel
showing coworker how to use Twitch. Hey, coworker! That is the weirdest name. Your parents had a fucked up sense of naming people. But yeah, Andrea will be leaving work shortly, as I was just saying, and she'll let me know when she's on the way home, and then we'll see what happens from there. But moving on to Pierce. So, these broken people are coming towards you. What would you like to do?
Pull out my crossbow and point it at the first guy who started drumming, who I assume is pretty close-ish.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I will shout, "All right, all you people, stop it and stay back. My quarrel is not with you today."
Look
and then
at that.
I will, like...
But your quarrel could be with them.
See what he did there? Real quick, hello to the new follower. I get it. I'm just going with Zion 2000.
Hello,
How are you? Thank you for the love. Appreciate that. You have yourself a 5-minute free preview. Feel free to hang out and chit-chat. We're going to play D&D. This is a VSNM, VIP, subscribers, moderators only stream. So if you want to join for this, please feel free to do so. But otherwise, I will see you most days of the rest of the week without a VSNM stream. Okay, so...
And then, like, 3/4 turn so that I'm, like, still have them in a good chunk of my vision and kind of go back to reading the things. Like, I'm trying to be pseudo-passive. Passive-aggressive.
See, I will point out, as I said in the introduction, Pierce fights with a dual nature within himself. One is to be a merchant and make the deal. The other one is to commit violence. And I want to point directly at his first reaction in this situation. It's not, let's make a deal. It's, I will shoot your ass.
Yup.
So, yeah, I will just say that real quick. Okay, so, well, let's see here. How good are you at these things? I wrote very small here. I'm going to need the glasses to read my own writing.
Pretty good.
No, we got that. So you're
You got
looking
a shoot a bitch skill? Wow, sweet.
No, you got an intimidation skill.
It's either they kick him in the head or the friggin' gotta cut this bitch.
2 or 3 other people grab that first person that you just pointed the weapon at, pick them up and turn them sideways and start carrying them forward to block you from shooting them, and instead using him as a human shield. Now, of course, those people have stopped clicking their bone-on-bone bowls. But everybody else, they're creeping forward, probably only, 5 feet every 10 seconds or so. They are creeping forward, not rushing, not walking, creeping.
Great. I'll pull out my rapier in my other hand, and I will shoot the closest motherfucker.
The one they picked up? He's still clicking his bowl. And they have really a feverish, maniacal look in their eyes.
Yeah, I'll shoot him.
Okay, roll initiative.
Oh, roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
22.
Beautiful. You go first. Roll to hit. As you attack
lovely.
dozens and dozens of people. That's right. Whatever that thing he's put up.
So that would be a 17 to hit him with my crossbow.
Oh yeah, the bolt or the quarrel just sinks into his loose flesh and clothing, disappearing into folds of his rags.
Ooh, I get another one of those.
Oh yeah, you can hear it scrape across that bone of his ribs as it enters. I've got to see how much damage before I figure out what it enters.
5, 10, 12,
42.
14, 16, 17, 18.
The fuck are you
19
adding?
damage. What?
What are you adding in ones like 15 times?
So it's sneak attack.
Oh, okay.
Because I go first. If I go first in initiative, like before them in initiative on my turn, I automatically get sneak attack damage.
Nice.
And then I have, so that's 3d6.
Ah.
Then the crossbow bolt
Beautiful.
is
Good enough.
1d6,
Good
and then I
enough.
have a +4.
I also forgot that you add by ones as opposed to just like clumping the numbers.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I forgot that. Okay, so the bolt fucking enters straight, reflecting off the collarbone and burrowing down, and you can just see the feathers sticking out of his throat as he starts to gurgle, and the blood is spitting up out of his mouth as well as dripping down the side of his chest. Now, the other slaves drop the body as it's dying and start tearing into it. So 5 or 6 gather around him. The others rush forward in a wave of human flesh, covering the distance between where you are and where they were, which was, 30, 40 feet away, and they come at you as a human wave. And that's when a piercing scream breaks through their rumbling approach, and a small child with wild hair, probably 7 or 8, lurches in front of you, throwing his arms wide and screaming, and they come skidding to a halt. You know, like in the old cartoons where like a stampede of elephants would see a mouse?
Yes.
That's what happens. They skid to a halt, falling backwards over each other. And he has his arms wide and he's snarling like some kind of... Well, not quite like a kitten from... Not quite like that. But he's... "Ah!" And they skid to a halt. And then he turns towards you. And he yells at you. "Ah!" And waves away.
Great. Bonus action disengage. And I will start
They're
running towards my hut.
They're not
Or
close enough to you for you even bother to use disengage. But you can, I mean.
Well,
They
or
were not-
disengage from him.
Oh, well. He is...
I mean, clearly he's on my side, but, that
maybe.
extra dodgy.
Maybe you look
Dodgy,
extra
dodgy.
meaty and he wants you for his own meal. It's hard to say. It's and you're trucking across the sands there. Now, Jaith, Muggets. Jaith, You're leading a parade of people carrying... Jaith, are you frozen?
It looks frozen.
I think so.
Oh no.
John, you there? Oh, I'm not sure. I guess it's everybody. His connection. If everybody's having the issue. Okay, pardon me, guys. I'm gonna break the continuity here as I chat to him here. We have lost. He's coming back. John, you there?
He's not up on my screen yet. Give him a second.
Yeah, I've got the... Oh, and he's back down there. Bear with us, guys, while we fix up the guy who was hosting the call. That would explain why Chris suddenly went pixelated. If Aaron and I are hosting the call. John, if you can hear us, I would recommend totally leaving the call and coming back. He had this problem last week right about this time.
Interesting.
And he had to reboot all of Skype to get in. Get ready for the noise. Here comes noise. There we go, and he's back. Here come the noise again. Once we get him in an actual square. There he is. And I get to rearrange all the pictures.
Yep, I'm doing the same thing.
I get to rearrange the... he's gone again. Why don't I just... Oh, I'm telling you. Get to rearrange all the name badges. Chris, you help me out with that mustache Batman noise. Do you find it exceptionally loud when I switch screens?
I would say that it is louder than most other sounds coming from the stream, but I don't think it's particularly loud.
Okay, I need some other...
I mean, it could be a little startling if you're not paying attention.
I need some help from other folks, such as whoever else is listening. When I switch screens and you get the little mustache thing, is it exceptionally loud for you? What I need to determine is it a bad sound that I need to totally rework the whole thing? Or is Trin just, for some reason, exceptionally bothered by that noise? So, Boneless, if you can throw an
just
opinion in there. It might be just Trin. It might absolutely be. Yes is too vague, Boneless. There was multiple choice there. Trin, hold on. You might be absolutely right. You might be giving great advice. So stop backing out. Stand by what you say. We'll let you know if you're wrong. John is so badly trying to get back in here. Drop, right, if you guys are still around. Ryan, if you're still around, let me know. It's a little spooky. Is it too loud? I'm not worried about if the noise is spooky. Is it exceptionally loud? And here it comes again. If you're not expecting it. Okay, but it's not blasting your speakers and knocking you out. And Trin, the reason I question is because I've had it up there for well over a month, and let me tell him to reboot. Oh, the internet. Definitely loud. Yeah, Trin, you could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I just want other people's opinions that way. You know, if everybody's like, no, it's fine, then, yeah, we know it's you. There we go.
I mean, it could be super loud if they're using headphones, maybe? Because I find different sounds on the stream are louder
Right.
when you're using headphones than when, because I'm using speakers at the moment. So.
Right. Well, Trin is definitely using headsets. It might be Trin, but it might not be. So.
Because, I have noticed that at home, when I'm listening on my speakers, the music for the music videos is way quieter than everything else, unless, even when you turn it up to make it, big screen and let's listen to this video, it's still super quiet compared to when you talk. But when I have headphones on, it's more at a normal level, I guess.
I just want to point out that Trin says her parents wouldn't approve of me. I'm the
No
bad
parents
boy. What, Aaron?
No parents would approve of you.
I know mine didn't.
Right.
Okay, John, we're trying to get John back in. He is in the call, but he is not getting camera or sound at the moment. Let me also tell him to update Skype. Because there was an update.
Update.
Because if we don't have matching updates, sometimes Skype will be persnickety and not let people hang out with the other people who got the updates. Because Skype is a son of a bitch. Okay. So, what we have here, to recap for everybody who hasn't been here, in the last game it ended with Jaith almost attacking the guy who basically freed the slaves and took over this place. Jaith got this feeling that perhaps this guy wasn't quite on the level and trying to do kind things. He just kind of took over and control to have the power for himself. Saw he's a bit abusive to his lackeys and the people that's taking care of shit for him, and Jaith started to draw on him. But the whole room also drew, so Jaith dialed it back a little bit and instead just protected the guy. Now Pierce, Chris's character there, headed off to the other side of the thing, which is what we keep on flashing back and forth between the two scenes. And he was inspecting the specter fissure, or as Aaron likes to call it, the
Devil's asshole.
there we go. Aaron is slow on his cues. It's which one are you drinking again? Not my father's root beer, right?
Not my father's root beer. If they would like to sponsor us and send us free root beer, that would be awesome. We'll be happy to plug them as many times as they like.
Yes.
Is that not correct, Travis? We also accept scotch, rum, cigars, cash. We like cold hard cash.
Or warm.
We'll take anything free. Freaking what was it? The bigger blacker box and the free box of bullshit. We'll take that as well.
I have both.
Right? See?
Yeah. I will point out though, we might plug my father's root beer, but we will not plug all our viewers because we are in committed relationships. Except for Chris, he's open up for bids.
Yeah. I am too. I am a whore.
And we will.
Whore.
So when I say shut your whore mouth, I could just change it off with shut your Aaron's mouth. There we go. It's good to know your strengths. It's
Hey, just be honest about yourself.
we have made Trin weep openly, like a shaved sloth, which is what that thing always reminds me of. A shaved sloth.
Damn it, now I'm not going to be able to unsee that.
You're welcome. That emote is called Bible Thump. The fuck? Where the hell did they get that? Shaved sloth. It's okay. Okay, we're gonna give this another moment. If John doesn't show up, I will figure out a way to roll forward without John. With no Jaith.
Hi, Jade.
He just started a party in the middle of the street, so
Well, he did.
he can always proselytize. And,
Yeah, I would just have it, have him make a 1 on his perception roll as you are being pursued across the open area that he's working in by a large amount of people.
I think you got that wrong. It's prostitute.
Something else with the emotes real quick. We do have another emote that I get to create, and I'm collecting thoughts and ideas. I feel like maybe...
John is restarting his computer, just to give you a heads up.
Thank you, I appreciate that. Maybe I need to even remove... Because originally I was going with the Talk of the Tavern outline of the sign with icons inside of it. And to get everything to match, I was going to do everything that way. But it's rather bland, and it didn't really lend itself to people going, that's cool, I want to click, post that. So I'm considering removing the brandy glass and the mustache and redoing in much more colorful ways. I would probably still do something similar, but yeah, I'm considering redoing all those also, especially seeing what Chris is posting and what other people like to use. I'm paying exceptional. There's a sloth. See, now
He thought he was an anonymous. Ignore what Chris is posting.
do a sloth right next to the Bible thump, and let's compare those two, Chris. Can we do that?
Yeah, give me a second. Now I gotta go find them again. There's the sloth.
Well, I wouldn't remove the mustache completely. I would redo the mustache. Chris has even suggested the word hype with a mustache. So I did get a flying spaghetti monster today, Chris. Thanks to Trin dropping 300 bits, people got extra things. So now I have...
I'm still here. Just want to let you know the camera just failed out.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that is your fighting spaghetti. Yeah, the feed emote. How did... Oh, you got the food emotes. Oh, good, Trin. I'm glad to hear it. Oh, you have these.
So, like, food fight emotes for cheering bits?
Yeah, I don't know what those are all about. It's, do I have other ones? I have some pokey ones. There's a fight sardine spaghetti. I only have 2 of the food fight emotes. Where do they come from? Why do they exist?
Through 9-2, cheer at least 200 bits to receive 2 of the 35 emotes to throw in chat, and gift emotes to others. Collect them all to keep the community's favorite.
Oh, so we get them, and then they take all but one away.
Great.
I feel cheated. Okay, John is rebooting. He will be joining us again shortly, hopefully. Otherwise, we're all going to cry. And he'll get here right about the same time. Oh, what is that? There's some bit. Oh, look at that. He got us 200, and then we with 3 others in chat. Wasn't me.
I don't know who it was.
I hope Trin got one. Trin, did you get one?
Like, I don't even know where do we see those emotes? Are they just in the, like...
I don't know.
General unlocked ones? Are they in the global ones?
No.
I see.
Yeah, there you go.
I got Fighting Pie Pizza.
No, Trin, we don't need 100 more. It's 200 or more, and it shows Cavalon's cheer shared rewards to 3 others in chat. Yay, you got the corn. Kern. There's the stash.
But not Kern nuts.
So I got gifted 2 subs to channels that I have never watched.
Welcome back, John.
Thanks.
We're glad to
Windows
have you.
decided to do an update right in the middle of everything.
It was Windows' fault. Damn you, Windows. And it looks like everybody's in the right place until Andrea shows up in a few minutes, and we end up having to do another Chinese fire drill. Let's get on with the game.
But I heard I was supposed to be proselytizing from other people. I could hear everybody, but I couldn't.
Actually, yeah, I was just about to tell you, as you walk out leading this parade, carrying all these... Oh, Andrea's here right now. Hold on.
Hello, Andrea.
Hi. She got a box of stuff.
Sweet.
You're not supposed to say that.
Box of stuff.
She said cleaning stuff. I'm not supposed to. I like cleaning stuff. Not yet. I like cleaning stuff. I'm a weirdo that way. That and office supplies, am I right? Do you need a few minutes, sweetie?
Yeah, I gotta get all my stuff.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot the caboose. Damn it.
Oh. Hi, everybody. Okay, when I was on earlier, I was showing someone at work how to do it. He did the emote. I didn't listen to anything because I don't know.
Oh, we said horrible things.
Oh, probably. I don't want to know what's going on, so.
Trin says, Andrea, favorite person ever.
Trin! Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. So she's going to set up. We're going to... You're fine, Trin. I don't get jealous of attention that Andrea gets. I am delighted by Andrea getting attention. Erin, on the other hand, fuck that whore. Because that's what you do with those, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
And give them money. Don't forget, it's 50% of the transaction. Give them money.
That's right. That's what makes
That's
them a
right.
whore.
Not
They
your
get
father's
money
root
for
beer.
it.
Give him money. Or beer.
Anyhow, we'll let Andrea set up. Her character, Lolly, will pop in as soon as she is set up and on camera. Look at that. There's some more. 3 others got themselves some... Are you bringing your computer, or are you just going to sit on my camera? Okay.
Because if I can use my computer, I'd be in there.
Well, it works better in here than it does in there. Huh? No. Okay, gentlemen, here's something I do want to point out to you is sometimes you guys don't hear Andrea, whether she's quiet or too far from the mic or a little of both or neither.
I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it could be you don't give a fuck. So do me a favor and be courteous to her, not because she has a vagina and boobs, just because...
Yeah, do it because of that.
Make sure we include everybody and make sure she
Don't
gets
worry
a
about
chance.
it.
to
Really
hear.
want
It
you to
really
hear me.
matter why we're courteous to her, as long as we're courteous.
Something like that.
I'll tell you if it's really important. Usually I'm just making snide comments. You don't really care.
Peanut gallery.
Yeah.
That's like all of Aaron's playing ever.
Yeah.
Hey, I keep getting invited back to the party.
You do. We had that discussion. Hold on, moving my mic. So, might be a little noise there. Okay. Can't see anything. Oh, did I just move the mic right in front of John so you can't see him?
And Chris.
And Chris?
I only see the top part of Baby
Hold
Shark.
on, moving the mic backwards now.
Shark do 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 do. Baby
Is that better?
shark do 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 do.
Yes.
You weren't even looking.
It is.
Okay, do you need
Baby
more light?
shark.
You okay?
I should be alright.
Okay, you can
I'll
see.
just make shit up.
Trin is so rising to you. Pay your artists and other entertainment absolutely boneless. Which, by the way, Andrea,
I'm
real quick, you better not be kidding.
what? I'm putting it on Twitch so I can talk to everybody.
Okay. Trin says if someone isn't courteous to Andrea, I'm going to stab a bitch. Then she says, I'm kidding. We didn't think you meant Andrea was a bitch.
Wait, sorry, Crinkle.
Huh? What?
Somebody's not courteous to you, she's going to stab you.
Stab me? What? Not me.
Okay.
Okay. I'm here.
Okay.
It's Sparks.
Now, it's 8 o'clock. Before we get rolling, does anybody need a break? Because, yeah, just like last week, our second hour is all fucking off.
Oh.
Everybody good?
We accomplished things.
I'm good.
We hoard ourselves for entertainment and friggin' potential friggin'
That's all that
What are
matters.
you drinking, Aaron?
not your father's root beer. And you should purchase this also and try it out.
I like that stuff. I've had it.
Mm-hmm.
It is
You should get. Oh.
the third time that Aaron has whored himself over my father's root beer, so it's just perfect that you're asking him to give him one more
Well,
opportunity.
it's good with ice cream, like a float, a root beer float.
It's amazing with ice cream. You know what? We should have an ice cream social, like Saturday. We'll sit down, we'll drink this, and we'll talk shit about other people's podcasts.
Okay.
Not
To
the
send
good
you a
ones.
T-shirt.
Oh yeah, and also t-shirts.
Well, they should send you a T-shirt.
How many root beers has he had?
I don't know, but he's
Just the
very
one.
quirky today. Okay. Okay, so back to the game. If nobody needs a potty break, refill break, countdown a register break, lock a door break.
Let me go grab one.
Anybody else? Chris, do you need to go get something?
20 seconds.
Dumpling?
No, I was talking, but I was muted,
Oh.
so it doesn't matter anymore.
Well done. Do we have time? Do you want to catch up and let us
What
know
did you
what
say?
I don't remember at this point. It's not important.
Tell us more. It sounds so interesting.
Or again. I
Yeah,
don't
that
know.
too.
That is hilarious. It's not
How
that
are
we
the
don't
dumplings?
listen to you. We can't hear you.
The dumplings were delicious.
They were
Although I
gone.
was not as hungry this week as I was last week and probably shouldn't have eaten all 16.
You know,
Of
you
course
can
you
just
should've.
stop eating them.
Well,
They're dumplings. No,
Well.
you can't.
there were
I
4
could, but
left,
I
and
didn't.
that's not even a really good snack, so...
I could, but I didn't.
We
Yeah.
got you, Trin.
We probably won't.
Trin, we probably won't. We will be otherwise occupied
We have
this
family
weekend.
plans.
Yes, we have family plans. Let's go with that. It's So anyhow, okay, let's get back to the game.
Am I here now?
You're going to be in just a moment. Hold on a
Was
second.
it time travel?
A
Or did I
little
get
bit.
Lost?
Do you want to hear the intro that I had
No.
for you?
Sure.
Okay.
No.
John's future's so bright he has to wear shades.
Isn't he cool? So I went over each person's motivation. John trying to make up for the atrocities of the church 30 years ago. Pierce fighting the double urge of making money versus killing. Moggets, the
Double urge
wanting
of
to
making
be
money
a,
versus making money.
wanting to be a lazy ass bastard versus the drive of the magical artifact encouraging
He's a
him.
wizard.
And Lolly, it says the adventurous spirit of the time-traveling Rocairn is indomitable as she tries to link information from 600 years in the future
Oh, I
to
noticed.
events lost in history. Traveling back and forth in pips and pops, she can only guess what the events transpiring in two different realities have in common and how they influence one another. Now,
She's like Indiana Jones.
you left the... She is kind of a little bit. So you Homer faded into the bushes, leaving those guys in the throne room type situation there. You did not hear the sounds of a massacre, which is part of the reason you might have faded back. Hard to say. And you started
There
to
were bushes in the throne room? Okay.
no, you started to
There
cross.
can be.
You started to cross across the valley floor, and your little device started buzzing and humming, and you pulled it out. And you notice there's a disturbance ahead of you, right where Pierce is. So you adjusted a few dials and buttons, and you saw him go, and then look straight at you. And you went, and you started fucking pressing shit!
And do this.
And then
Oh, delivery. Okay.
he got tacos.
Aaron just got 2 tacos.
Tacos.
And then you static buzzed out. And you disappeared. Now, you suddenly reappear, and you are surrounded by a line of people carrying kegs of ale. You can see the
Is
back...
it a conga line?
Sort of.
Yes.
You
okay.
see Jaith at the lead of the line, holding his hammer up and speaking about Jonathan, and there are 24 people carrying beer and cups following him.
Oh, communion time.
And he stops, he goes just barely to the corner near where Pierce's shop is. And they set up little stands to the kegs, and everybody has their little ceramic cups and a rare wooden cup. And here he starts to preach the word of Jonathan and how the power of the earth protects. Look at the canyon
Here.
walls.
I agree
Look
to that.
at the strength of the earth around you that protects you from the elements and all these. And you immediately pull out a cup and then go fill it.
Fuck yeah.
'Cause you're
Look at these
okay.
amazing tacos.
And then you hear people muttering, I don't believe he paid 1,000 gold for this beer.
Is it that bad?
And then Moggets, you can see him coming down the stairs of the stone tower of the treasury. And he's got a large guy about 20 paces in front of him sashaying this way.
Is he Shantaeing too?
Nope, but he is definitely casting glances over his shoulder, affectionate glances over his shoulder, towards Moggets.
Yeah, he is.
Are you muted, Aaron? Oh, you're muted because you're eating.
Just
Courtesy. Carry on.
I'm doing this. I'm going, yeah.
Now,
You go, Clyde. Rocket.
yeah, his last...
He said Red Rocket?
No, people call this big guy Mr. Dale, but his first name is Clyde.
Red Rocket it is.
Clyde Dale. He's a workhorse. Okay, so now, everybody, what you notice as you start to set up, Jaith, and you have the beer, put it there, and you turn to see who's gathered, you see the slave tents in the distance, and there is Pierce running like a motherfucker away from it as a wave of humanity is crumbling over itself like an ocean wave. And 1 second, Moggets, I'll be right with you. And it's hard to tell if they're pursuing him or trying to get away from him, as it seems this wave of humanity is doing both simultaneously. Moggets, you see Lolly appear in the middle of all the people. Jaith does not notice that as he's looking towards Pierce. who is running towards you guys. Malgus, you see all of it. What? What do you want?
Question for clarification. How does a motherfucker run? Is it more like the real Ghostbusters, or is it kind of like a Naruto run?
Yes, Chris, please clarify how a motherfucker runs.
In this instance, it's that like super like Scooby-Doo, like arms and legs up crazy run.
Great visual.
Ruh-roh.
Pierce,
Ruh-roh.
you feel the skin under your arms tearing. Not because of your run so much, just because as it's been weakened by something, and you just feel it as you're doing that crazy run. You can feel where humans would chafe, your skin, your flesh is ripping.
You need to moisturize, man.
Well,
Oil up.
with the drippy oozy goo coming, he might be moisturizing,
Oh
whether
my
he
God.
likes it or not. Jizz for you. Red rocket. So, there we go. Pierce, what you see, of course, you see Jace setting up his beer, and he notices you. You see Lolly back into existence. She was only gone a minute and a half. Now, how long you were actually gone for is a little different from how long you were gone
Yeah,
here.
more than a minute and a half.
8 months.
Her hair's
No.
different. She's changed clothes.
She's had time for a costume change.
She
Right.
Like it's a new Marvel movie.
Fair point. So, everybody knows what they see. By the way, Grull is in the midst of things, because you guys have been ignoring him. He doesn't look sad about it, though. He is glaring past Pierce as the one small figure scampering behind Pierce
That's a
comes
child.
closer. It is. It is that wild, feral child.
Was it a wild or is it a feral?
Well, there was a comma between the two. Or it could be no comma. It could be wild,
What,
feral.
child?
Well,
Well, no, they're opposing terms.
wild and feral? No, they're not.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How do you figure?
Oh, Lord.
Well, okay, a wild is born in the wild. A feral is freaking domesticated and released to the wild.
I don't think you're up to on your terms, because a feral cat was never domesticated.
Gone
Yeah,
feral.
but a cat is a domesticated animal in general.
It is. But if a feral cat who comes from a domesticated breed but raised in the wild, it could be wild feral.
Oh, Lord. Somebody just Google it.
Ah,
No,
I
that,
love
that
Google.
Good enough. You can ask him when you decide to sit down and have a beer with this young boy.
Woohoo.
Like you do.
Would an insight check tell me if the crowd is... Well, it looks like they're trying to attempt to kill Piers, correct?
Let's go ahead and go with that inside check, which I think you have a passive of 18 or something like that, right?
Yes.
I'm going to give it to you with just that without you needing the roll. Looking at
Mike,
it...
well, go ahead. I got to follow. I got a similar question, but from a different angle.
Okay.
Does Pierce look like he deserves to be killed by these people?
Always.
Right. No. Based on the look on Pierce's face, does he look like he deserves to be killed
No.
by these people? Oh, okay.
Pierce never thinks he deserves that. Ugh. Okay.
Ah.
Jaith, what you're seeing, because you were busy focusing on your crowd, but what is coming into focus in front of you has happened 30 seconds to a minute earlier.
Right.
But you would say these people, part of them want to take them down. The other part, the lead part, the ones in the back are tripping over. Possibly the ones in the back didn't see what happened. But that front line seems to be afraid of something. And you don't think it's Pierce. And the only other thing between them and where you are besides Pierce is that child.
All right. Well, I'm going
And
to
I'd be
attempt to give
shooting
them some
behind me, trying to
extra space.
taking people out as I run.
Okay,
So-
those people are hundreds of feet behind you. But you could
I have a
definitely...
range of 120 feet.
Do you want to... You can absolutely shoot people
I mean,
hundreds of feet
it's more
behind
like
you.
blind firing into the crowd. Like, I'm gonna hit something.
Chris, yes, you can shoot into the crowd if you want. It's no problem. You're okay.
So I see this happening, right?
Yes. Chris shooting people and trying to kill them when they're afraid of him.
That's
It's,
nice.
Being held back by the front line. Jaith, what were you saying?
I'm going to attempt to give them some distance between their crowd and the wild child and him by putting a lightning storm. I'm just going to have it strike in front of that crowd to try to scare them.
Okay. Okay. So here's what I want at this point in time. I wanted initiatives.
Me too.
If you want to make any kind of action, yes. If you don't want to make any kind of action,
I
I'm
wanna
not
have
worried
the
about your
option.
initiative. Oh, look at Chris. He's got all kinds of goddamn things.
He do.
He's got a thorn.
How did you know I was going to do that? The same way I knew somebody was going to borrow 10 platinum from not 1,000 platinum.
I got an initiative of 21 BT dubs.
Okay.
That's a little faster than you.
I have 10.
22.
10 for you, 21 for him. What do you get, Jaith?
22.
Margus, did you roll?
Ah,
He's just gonna
He's
yell.
going to
shit.
use this time to go hang out with his new friend.
So, you
but
were...
I will actually ask Mr. Dale, what's with them?
Clyde.
Who you nodding at?
Clyde, Dave.
Clydesdale. Aaron, who are you indicating?
Mr. Dale, I lean up to him and go, what's with them?
Who's them?
The people chasing
Gotcha. Okay.
You know them.
the runners,
Yeah,
not
'cause-
the
At this
Really?
point in time, you have
What?
the
Yeah.
restless natives, you have the wild child, you have Pierce, you have Jaith, you have the followers of Jaith, and then you have the guys behind you standing in the treasury doorway glaring. Except
Yeah.
for Bob, who's pretty okay with what's going on.
They don't give a
the
fuck.
most aggressive of the batch at the moment that are chasing my current party member.
So, Pierce? Oh, no.
Yeah, it looks kind of like Pierce, but we can disavow him if we need to.
Okay, I'm going to start with you there, Moggets. He's like, they're poor and stupid.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what's wrong with anybody like that? Can't really say. Okay, now, Jaith, you turn around to the local standing next to me and you thrust your mug at him and say, "Hold my beer."
Not.
Then you raise your hammer above your head and start calling upon the power of Jonathan
Indeed.
in the most persuasive, badass, cool way you can. Because, you know, gotta impress these people. And there's nothing like some fireworks
I'm
to make
waiting.
people go ooh and ah.
Bear witness to the power of Jonathan stops this massive crowd from engaging us and bringing their. Well, I mean, do they look like they're like starved?
No. They're
Alright.
not well fed,
All right.
but they're not starved. You definitely get the feeling something else was going on that you're not sure what it was, but
Pay for it.
they weren't just
We'll
attacking him
stop
because
them
he
from
looks
coming
delicious.
and taking our ale and limiting our fun.
Defend the ale. Because don't forget, Jonathan is also a god of agriculture and the earth. So the raising of the crops, and ale is nothing more than liquid bread.
Indeed.
That's a hell of
It's
a
a-
sandwich.
And now, by the way, people are totally like, hops is a vegetable, so beer is salad. No, it's still liquid bread. Stop.
Salad.
Silly. Anyhow, That's current meme. Okay, so now with this, you can do lightning strikes the same round you start this, correct?
Correct. One.
Okay. Now we're going to go a little theatrical. Since you're not looking to basically blast the fuck out of any particular person or group of people that are closely by, you summon the storm. The storm blossoms out, and lightning just starts forking into the dirt, blasting up small puffs of air. Does rain come with this, or just lightning?
Just it's a storm, so lightning, I would imagine.
Okay. The air still moistens because there is a cloud there, and there is a light, very light drizzle that accompanies it. Because also that makes it more conducive to, or conductive. What?
Something died outside. I smell it. Just keep going.
Was it me? Is it a squirrel?
No, it's a deer.
Okay. A doe?
Female deer.
Oh. So yeah, the lightning strikes in a half dozen places. In other words, not damaging, strictly theatrical. Why not make this a thing? It makes sense. Can't hurt shit.
Barely can make them stop.
Right, it's impressive.
In their tracks.
A half dozen force of lightning hit in quick succession, back and forth. The air starts misting with moisture. The people dropping to their knees and holding their little shallow bone bowls to the bit of precipitation in this dry, arid area.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Pierce, fire on one.
Pew.
Yeah. It's all fun and games until he does 82 points of damage with one crossbow bolt. Because you will be going before them, so I believe you'll get the surprise attack bonus and everything.
Do you really want me to shoot into the crowd and
If you
deal
would
damage?
if you would like to do
want.
one. Yeah, this is
Yeah,
cool.
sure. Oh, that's gonna be 22 to hit someone.
Yeah, excellent. You hit someone at the very edge of your range. Don't forget any penalties for long range,
Oh yeah.
which I'm
So
sure still hits, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, because it would be a 15 instead of a 22.
Still bites into the flesh of one.
Let's see. 10, 15.
I hear the storm.
18 plus 4, so 22.
Very good. It is. So yeah, you fire another one into the poor, starving, hungry, terrified people, and it jams into his chest, and he crumples under the crowd, and again another half dozen people just fall on him, and you can hear his dying screams for whatever damage you didn't do, they will do with teeth and nail and bone clubs. But, yay, half dozen people are going to eat well tonight. So, good job. Now, Lolly, hold on a second, let me see, let me try to, I can't roll in my dice box tonight.
Yeah, there's a cat in it.
So, they get to go next. Grohl is going to pour a beer and watch. He's got his mug with like the 6 metal stamps attached to it. That's right. And he's just watching the show. The wild child breaks to his right, everybody viewing him's left, to head around the buildings because suddenly there's a crowd of people that he doesn't want to be around. It's, there we go. We'll toast to that.
What?
Elizabeth has been talking to you.
Oh, I'm waiting to read this, so I just was waiting.
And then she cheered, like with a toast, like a cheers. So
I'm saying hi to everyone.
You're here.
people
Dilly
are
dilly.
cheering Jaith on. The crowd, clapping and toasting and drinking the free beer or the very expensive beer,
Bravo.
depending which side of that equation you're on. And Clyde is leaning down to Moggets to talk to him. By the way, Clyde places a very gentle hand on your shoulder as he leans in to talk to you.
Yeah, he does.
And he will start pointing out, the different things. He's like, yeah, you see is he like a pineapple on a slice of pizza?
His hands are very soft.
Just let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
No, not soft, gentle. And that's the important piece.
There is a difference between the two things, aren't there?
Like supple leather.
Oh, Lord.
Hey!
That's a sack. Not his hand. It's very supple.
There we go. Here, guys, I threw something in Discord for you. I took it for Chris the other day.
Speaking of supple leather.
Oh my God, I'm curious where she's gonna go. Lolly, your turn.
Shit. Well, while I'm there watching and doing whatever,
Yeah.
drinking, of course,
Yeah.
enjoying the show. There once was a lady named Ferris whom nothing could ever embarrass, till the bath salts one day in the tub where she lay turned out to be plaster of Paris.
Oh.
I'm giving Jace some inspiration to control the people.
By the way,
I have a plan.
did you guys see the thing? No, I think I just posted it to Andrea. I posted a thing to Andrea. It said, bards are overpowered. Now, to explain this to everybody, it said,
I'm not overpowered.
oh, well, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Wait till you hear this one. It says, bards are overpowered. They can learn mass suggestion. All they have to do is yell, everybody clap your hands, and make up to 12 people do the cha-cha slide for 24 hours. Then it has a direct clip out of the rule book that says, at higher levels, when you cast a spell using a 7th level spell slot, the duration is 10 days. When you use an 8th level spell slot, the duration is 30 days. When you use a 9th level spell slot, the duration is a year and a day. A level 20 bard can force you to do the cha-cha slide for a year and a day. So, yeah.
Get on it, Lolly.
Y'all don't know what that is yet. That's from the future. Oh,
Bring it to the past.
So, yeah, I just want to point out the power that Lolly potentially could have with the cha-cha slide.
Fuck yeah, they'll be my backup dancers.
What are you doing?
She
I
just
already did it.
You already did
inspired.
it. Just
It's
inspired. Well,
inspiration.
that's a bonus action. You want to do anything else?
I'm
Drink a beer.
drinking.
Drinking. That's a full action.
Freaking-
So, I'm going to interrupt real quick. Trin, Elizabeth and Andrea were the best type of duo ever. They really bounced off each other in the superhero game. John was there for that game. John played in that game.
He's like, let's put up a sign, go that way.
And that was a good time. They played very well together and worked
I
great.
really like that game.
It's fish is coming for your lap.
No, he's coming from my dice box.
Tomato, tomato.
Oh.
So, we rotate back to Jaith. The people are backing off and stopping, and they're trying to gather the little bit of moisture from the air in their
All right.
bowls.
Well, I'm going to stride forward. I'm going to. Not only can Jonathan cure your temperament, and I'm going to create food and water for 15 of them out there in that big mass of people because they look like they're starving. So there's 30 gallons of water. There's enough food for 15 people. And I'm going to see if they'll stop and at least start enjoying the gifts of Jonathan.
Okay. To add a little
And I'm going to do that a couple times. I don't know how many people are out there. Is the problem.
Well, keep in mind that with this map,
With
which
the
I'm
bowl
gonna
people.
pull up on the stream here so everybody can see, if that distance on the bottom there is 100 feet, he's probably got 350 feet between him and the mass of people. So he steps forward, raising his hands, calling upon the power of the storm around him to strike lightning around him. Not so close as messes up the beard. He's not a fucking moron. Maybe to make it stand out a little so he bristles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I look bigger.
Poofy tail like a cat.
That's right. And he's calling upon the power. Now, here's what I need to know from Jaith. You're going to call down this water. If it hits the ground, first of all, it's going to roll straight towards the center, towards the arena.
So he's gonna make water everyone's gonna drink?
That's what he's trying to do. But he...
Well, it makes food also.
Right.
It makes a...
Tofu.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it into their bowls and stuff.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Now, keep in mind, their bowls are like a half-inch deep. There's not much to them.
They're gonna drown trying to.
Well, I can't.
But give me a quick perception roll.
17.
17. As you step forward away from the crowd, you look to your left and you see a horse trough that's barely full and barely used. You kick it over, dumping the muddy water out. And you carry it and you thump it with each step. Because your strength, you can lift that fucking trough. It's taller than you. And about as
Yeah, but I
round
want
as
to
you.
get these other people involved. So I say, you there, help me carry this.
There you go. You hand it behind them, they carry behind you, and you approach. Now, with that kind of distance, you're not doing this in one round. It's not 30 feet away. But it gives you time to build up the crowd, calling to the poor, the tired, the hungry. Bring us your... Wait, this sounds familiar, but it's still a good speed. Mostly dead.
I use the lightning to carve out a large woman in the rock face over there, kind of smacked.
Yeah, you do.
Well, the lightning is striking the rock face, rock crumbling. It looks more like that smiley face that they put on T-shirts, but you think it looks great. Yeah, there's just 2 score marks and then a jagged rictus grin carved into the wall. But then,
and I'll try to get the rest of the crowd to get other troughs, because I know I'm going to be doing this more than once.
Okay.
Follow me.
So you call out for them to grab buckets, barrels, bring the beer, troughs, bring the beer. And the whole crowd, all
beer.
24 of them. Are you joining in with the crowd? Maybe
Just
carrying something?
Yelling beer. Drinking beer.
She is supporting you by yelling and drinking.
She's the best.
What about you, Moggets?
Mogus is keeping an eye out for anybody that is not paying attention to the carrot. He is going to be the stick.
Okay, so you're talking about the crowd that's following. If they're reluctant to follow, you and Clyde are going to shepherd them forward.
So is
yeah, a little bit of that, and I also want to keep an eye on the friggin' crowd that he's trying to appease as well. If anybody gets kind of aggressive, I've got an action ready for them.
Okay. You, as a bard, you back him up. You toddle forward with your beer in your hand, and every time he says something, you raise your mug and yell, "Yeah! Free water!" to them. You don't want them getting all your beer. These people can have the beer, they can have the water.
Water!
And you start directing the people with the troughs, and Moggets is picking up the stragglers and whatnot. Now, Pierce.
Over there.
So, you have never seen Jaith look this glorious. Of course, you try not to look at him too often anyway. He's short, stubby. It's really weird. But, first, he just stopped the fucking crowd in tracks by dropping a goddamn wall of lightning. And then he's walking forward. You can't even hear him over the thunder and the crack of the lightning hitting the wall, scoring, creating a face. Maybe it's his god.
Have a nice day.
Maybe it's... I don't know. It's the kind of shit you put on a refrigerator that your kid brings home. Not that you ever had kids or know what a refrigerator is, but... But yeah, the crowd is slowed. You're getting closer to Jaith and all of them. What are you doing once you're within a stone's throw of the people you know and trust, mostly?
Yo.
A little.
Mute.
Is he muted?
Muted.
You're muted.
Hiding in plain sight.
Wah, wah. Where's the muted?
You're unmuted. Okay. Tell us what you're doing.
Say it again.
I'll slow down, and I would imagine most of my disguise has fallen away at this point.
Now, I will leave that up to
Is that the
you.
new emote?
No, that is one Chris got from another.
That's fucking perfect.
Battle damage like Batman.
I will leave that up to you to progress. I will keep giving you openings to use it.
Great.
Now, keep in mind, you have a shirt on. You have pants on. So, though where your thigh meets your pelvis has ripped and torn, it could look like sweat stains or like you pissed yourself. And same for right here, but probably not pissed yourself in your armpits.
Don't pee in your armpits.
But if you can, that's going to get you a girlfriend.
I mean,
or a boyfriend.
with the armor and the cloak and things, it's really just my face and neck where they would be able to see skin, and my hands if I weren't wearing gloves, but I tend to always wear gloves. So.
Now, depending how far you want to go with this, keep in mind with the lightning strikes, you can use that to further this. So do what you want here. Take a story with it. Go ahead. You're coming towards them. You assume with everything that's going on. What happened?
Maybe like half of the face mask is gone.
Like
and
Two-Face?
there's like gleaming bits of metal with the wood underneath that is a deep, like
What's hanging out?
Like Terminator.
reddish wood that looks
Yeah.
kind of more like muscle than wood.
Now.
And stop and like fake heavy breathing.
So, Pierce coming towards you guys, slowing down, stopping. You can see his flesh has partially been ripped away, melted away. The bubbling wounds that you've seen on these people that you guys are worried about on your own flesh has really taken a huge leap with him. But part of his face is torn away. And what you first think is deteriorated, wrinkled, dried out, pruned muscle, you realize is it's wood underneath his flesh and metal where bone should be. This guy is something different.
He's got wood.
He's got wood. But yeah, and he's fake heavy breathing, which, let's see here. What's everybody's passive perception? Well, let me see everybody's
I don't know
passive.
What mine is. She's
I got it right here. It's
She's
all
on my
good.
phone.
Yeah,
It would
considering
be
what everybody's
insight,
is.
possibly.
A lot of people are probably buying it, but you guys have been around a little more. Pierce, you have the lowest passive perception of the bunch. But he's all like... You're like, that's not quite right. I don't think he's really winded. And, now, Pierce, do you realize, as your hand goes up and touches, do you realize
No,
you're...
because I haven't
Okay.
like touched my face yet. I do
Okay.
that like bent over, hands on the knees, like
He
heavy.
doesn't have skin,
I
does
just ran, a football field.
Now, here's another fun thing that you guys notice. As he leans over and puts his hands on his knees, breathing heavy, you know how sometimes, like your sleeve will fold over your glove or whatever? He has flesh that has folded over his glove. Like it pulled away from his forearm, out from underneath his leather armor, is it? And it's flesh that has reversed itself over his hand.
Like meat curtains.
That's not what. That doesn't mean what you think it means.
Henry, I hate you.
He's got to clean his keyboard.
I'm sorry.
Now, the rest of the people, the average people, they're really caught up in the display. They're really caught up in this. They're carrying the troughs. They're not paying attention to this one guy. They're watching the mass of ex-slaves, coming towards them. They're dropping, because they're not going all the way, Jafe. They're not going all the way to Tent Town over there. They're dropping the trough so you can start doing your magic. The storm dissipating as you pull on the other energies to create these other things, because it doesn't stick around while you're casting other spells, right? Concentration. It's not
One's in
concentration.
concentration and one's in action.
Aaron,
He
you
just
spoke-
has to think about it.
As long as it's
As long
not
as you
another
have to maintain.
concentration spell,
Okay,
where you
okay,
have to maintain it.
okay, gotcha,
Like spiritual. That's why I can do spiritual hammer
Gotcha.
and all lightning.
gotcha. Lolly, do you want to do anything? They're setting up the troughs.
I already did my thing. I gave inspiration and I'm drinking the beer.
That was last round.
I'm still doing
It
quality
was actually
control.
about 10 rounds ago.
Quality control.
Okay, still herding the people, making sure they're coming along.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Encouraging them, doing the bard thing, talking them up. Look at him, kicking ass. Look at this guy running towards
interpretive
us.
dance. That way.
Ignore the meat curtains and move on. Nothing to see here.
No.
So, we're
Well, I
back
know
to
they can hear me now.
Jaith.
Pierce, you might want to get your stall open. And I continue to move forward and create food and water. We brought you friends. And quit faking that you're tired. You're not maggots.
What?
As I continue past him.
I'll put my hand up to my face and then run into my shop and close the door.
The small squeal
That's
Pierce.
the opposite of opening.
He has to put his face on.
With a girly squeal, he says, I gotta put my face on. I know, crinkle, crinkle, right? What about you, Moggetts, now that everybody's gathered around?
I will turn to Mr. Dale. I'll say, do me a favor. Just keep an eye on the rabble-rousers. I need to go check on my associates real quick. And then I will make my way to his shop real quick. Is your skin suit living, or is it just a skin suit?
Resignation. Well, get everyone together when all of that is done, and I will explain all.
I think
No.
he's asking you as a player.
I'm asking you as a player.
Here.
Oh, no, it's like whatever disguise suit, like, you know, it's fake. Sometimes it's paper, like, not paper mache, but like it's, you know.
It's made out
Like
of
the
ham.
Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz, they really like painted his pants like silver.
Right. No, and that's why I'm asking. I'm gonna knock on your door and go, hey, I can probably heal that, putting a little emphasis on there.
Like he does on Wizard.
I'll open the door slightly.
Reach in and go, bibbidi bobbidi bow, and mend goes off. And that should.
Gotcha. Yeah, well, I would imagine it doesn't do anything.
Mend is a non-living thing.
Right.
It does something. First of all, you can't see what you're doing. And like stitching a hem of a pants, when you can't see what you're doing, yeah, you'll get it, just not well. Now imagine
I
the
don't.
pants.
I don't care. Much like I don't care what's underneath the skin suit. I don't care how it looks.
Imagine those pants have large holes in them. Not tears, not rips, missing pieces. So,
It's like a bad facelift.
yeah, well, it could be a bad facelift or it could be whole parts that just can't reach each other.
The mouth section's now up here.
Hey, Men in Black, the Egger suit, like
Pull
this?
back.
Right. Hey,
Tie it off.
all I'm doing is making sure that we're not seeing stuff underneath. I don't care how well it looks. People look screwed up in this world.
Well, you're not supposed to tell them.
But no, that's at the player level. Sorry. People look screwed up in this world.
Thrall is standing directly behind him. He's like, maybe it's time for a scarf and a hood. And he's eating a bag of some kind of fried crisps.
Pork
I can
rinds.
get one real
Pork
quick.
Or what looks like pork rinds, but not cooked.
Ew.
Right, Timmy.
These are good.
So Pierce will just sigh, we'll say, resignation. When all of that is done, gather everyone here in my front room, and I will explain all.
I don't know if
And
they're
then
all
we'll
going to fit. There's like a
Push
couple
the
hundred
door
of the poor people.
closed,
No,
and
poor people.
go into the back room and close the door.
We got business to do. You gotta make money.
That's what he's doing in the back room.
$20 is $20.
20
Paying himself.
You gotta take care of your star player.
Give with one hand, take with the other. If you know what I mean.
Indian giver.
So anyhow, 10 minutes later, Jaith is happy as pig in shit. Which, by the way, they're not all that happy about that. They're trapped in a fucking pen and have no choice. But Jace is happier than that, then.
They're well fed. For now.
He is standing on top of 2 troughs turned upside down and a third one turned across it. So he's got himself a pedestal. He's up on it. The storm is barely still there. He's using it to punctuate like a great evangelical preacher. Evangelist? Evangelical?
Yes.
Every time I say Jonathan, there's a strike of light.
Mm-hmm. And he has a crowd in a fervor. Now, they are still segregated. You have like the 24 people from over here. And by the way, another 24 have joined. So you have almost 50 people from the arena, the racetrack, the towers. Then you probably have 200 slaves all gathered. Now, oh, did we disconnect? Because it just popped back to chat room here. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I think we're okay. Just throw a thing in there. Nope, nothing came up. I may have missed everything after the Discord thing. Okay, it works on that one. Crazy.
Everything.
Oh, it's just how things work. So anyhow, but the people are listening for various reasons, which Jaith is willing to pay that price. The poor people, the slaves, are listening because there's tofu and water.
Oh, wow.
The other people are willing to listen because there's beer. Yes, Muggins?
Me and Mr. Dale are going to slowly kind of walk through the poor people and go, you know he does this every night. Every night. Every night. He does this every night. He does this every night.
So
Well, no.
You're a blend between follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. And then the other one, I think of Monty Python on Holy Grail. He's going to sing. He's going to sing. He's going to sing.
Oh, I'll add that in there too. He's gonna sing.
Oh,
There will be a dance number later on if you're good.
Mm-hmm. It's see, I missed a whole birthday thing. I don't know what I missed after Trim posted Discord, but apparently there was a birthday thing.
Happy birthday!
Hmm?
I was up there because she's taking Friday off for her birthday.
No, I missed it.
I saw it. I saw it.
Right, that's what. Oh, it's way up here from 20 minutes ago. Okay. Anyhow. After this 10 minutes, Pierce has pulled himself together and he has opened the doors for business, set out his rock and his string and his bell to sell. Pierce, how would you like to cover yourself now? Or not, because you have seen the people here. You don't necessarily look worse than them.
Well, I think I want to talk to everyone before.
Okay.
I wouldn't have opened the shop, even though.
Well, you didn't pull up the shutters.
But he laid out his string, his bell, and what?
Yeah, but I still would have kept everything closed down for the.
No, I understand that. I didn't say you. I said you open the doors so they can get in. I didn't say you. You got to imagine these stalls again, like Maryland Renaissance Fair. So some people have a counter and you just pull the thing up. You know, maybe a metal or a wooden shutter that you just raise up and hold up on sticks, so it creates a canopy that people step under to see your wares. If you know what I mean. Kind of like a man in a kilt. He just holds it up. People could step under it. But you get the feeling Jaith is going to be out there for a while. He's doing his thing. This is not an 8-minute act. This man, for as little as
He's given
says,
the full 52 minutes.
That's right.
52 midnight's far away. I'm not way more than 52 minutes.
He's got
I
cakes
am
of beer and
perfectly
a crowd.
okay waiting.
Okay.
Well, no. Hey, 52 minutes, then an 8-minute commercial break, then you get to go back on stage.
Which
Remember, you got to pay yourself.
we're gonna do that commercial break now.
For real.
Yep, we're gonna take a break if anybody needs to get up and get anything. And when we come back, it's gonna be many hours later after dark, and you guys will be gathering together in Pierce's shop. So, let's step away just for a moment here. I need to get a refill. Do you need anything?
What is this, like, death stare? Damn. What did you do?
She's eating.
She got
Oh, I love those. I had some of those earlier today.
Trent's got
I
a
don't
whole
need
food
anything.
fight.
I have M&M's.
Okay, so everybody take a break, get a refill, lock doors. If you own a shop or anything like that, we will reconvene here in the next 18 seconds to 3 minutes.
The cat's on my paper, so I hope I don't have to do anything.
You can entertain. I've got a copy of everything you got. Yeah, I do.
So this would be yes and no. Sure.
It is. It is.
So the person I was showing today may not be able to get back on.
Uh-huh. Well, not today.
Oh. Because she was going to watch.
Oh.
That's why.
Because you can watch a replay. I'll be right back. Andrea and Aaron is going to entertain you guys. I am moving the table.
We have to entertain everybody, Aaron.
Talk to
No
Trent,
problem.
Elizabeth. You should be okay. Include bonus. Ask for his Instagram again.
Who's Instagram? Who's Instagram?
I don't know. Sometimes he just runs off.
We usually end around 10. The game, anyway. So. Yep. I see the food fight thing. It's all tiny on my phone. I can't see much. So did you eat your tacos, Aaron?
I did eat my tacos. Nom nom nom.
I was gonna get a Whopper, but our Burger King's closed for renovation.
Oh, see, I don't need a whole lot of beef anymore. Tacos and well, no, I don't. Friggin' the turning 40 thing, kind of like, okay, how bad do I want to feel for the next 3 days, kind of deal.
Yeah. Oh, I thought of a question I was gonna ask you. Do you ever,
Okay.
You're a runner. You and Emmy are runners. Do you ever wear compression socks?
No, I wear ankle socks. However, compression socks are great. Emmy wears compression sleeves instead of the socks. They work really, really well for her.
Where do you get them?
You can get them at any running store or Amazon.
Where do y'all get them?
VA Runner.
Okay. Because I'm looking at getting some. I don't run, but I need them for
Yeah.
work. Cool.
Yeah, no, they're good. Compressed muscle is stronger because you're using less energy to compress it. It ends up working well, but you also want to make sure to take them off when you're not actively doing something.
Yeah,
So if you're not walking around and sitting, walking, etc.
Yeah, I need them at work because on my feet, 8 to 10 hours a day on concrete, my legs hurt.
Yep, I don't blame you.
So.
How often do you change? How often do you buy new shoes?
Every couple months.
Okay, good.
So, and I get the inserts in them and everything.
If you buy the right shoes, the inserts are somewhat unnecessary, but it's concrete's still going to be hard on
Well,
your
the
feet.
thing is, I found some shoes several years ago and they were perfect. They don't make them like that anymore.
No, they change them up every couple years.
So, yeah. Trend compression socks. When you get older, you get things like spider veins and stuff from walking too much, and especially on concrete for me. Compression socks help move the blood through to your heart easier. And so, yeah.
Kind of, sort of, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I did some research, and basically the veins are, like, broken. They're broke. Can't fix them. I don't know. Almost everybody's back. Yay!
Woohoo!
Well, Trim, I'm over 40. I've been working retail over 30 years, and I'm on concrete all day.
Mm-hmm.
Walking. That's what causes it. Just strain on the legs.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Well, it's repetitive impact.
Mm-hmm. This cat is so funny. Zazzle. The light's on her.
Okay.
We're waiting for you.
Before we get back into things here, Aaron, I want to do a slight interlude with you, sir.
Okay.
You want to lube with him?
I do. I want to do an interlude with him.
Interlude.
What are compression socks?
We were talking about compression socks.
Gosh, I'm just seeing how much I missed here.
A lot.
Dialytic friggin' oil.
Did
they put
somebody
it on
tell
there.
Trin when we're ending?
Yeah, about 10.
Good. 10 Eastern, that's 9 your time, Trin?
Oh, I didn't know where she was. Okay, never mind.
Illinois near Chicago. Okay. Ready, Aaron?
Ready.
Okay. Do you remember after New Dunstan was burned to the ground? You know, after the barbarian...
It was pre-renovation, thank you very much.
Very good. Pre-renovated to the ground. And, you know, initially through the help of a barbarian horde, but then the town, well, the remaining living townsfolk joined up with them to defeat the demonic horde coming through the 3 portals, etc. Well, after that, when these other guys are like, we need to go take care of this thing over there at the mountains, and you went, great, I'm going to do something else.
That sounds like a great plan for you guys.
Well, do you remember the reason you hung back? Now, you told him one thing, but it totally wasn't for that reason. It was the ivory rod speaking to you in your dreams.
Yeah. It was, 1, I didn't want to, and
Right.
2, I had this cool friggin' wand.
Yeah, he does. Haha.
You know,
Which people keep telling me is a rod, R-O-D-D. It's an extra long rod.
Clyde does. We don't know about everybody.
it's R-O-double-D, buddy.
R-O-triple-D.
Is that a butt?
Every time he tells a story, it gets longer.
No, yeah, well, of course. It's like a
He is wearing
fish.
his fishing shirt.
Is that a butt, Chris? Did you just put a butt up there?
Maybe.
Here, Andrea, you want to see it larger?
Oh my god.
And it's got little hearts over it and a little fire.
No.
So anyhow, split personality, 100 proof. That's what his shirt says. My shirt says world's okayest DM.
Mine says Amazon.
It says Craftsman.
Oh, Craftsman.
Mine's a really faded Batman symbol.
Very
He's
good.
also dyslexic, so.
And John says Jerseys, which is the shop that he runs in Gloucester, Virginia. Nowhere near New
Oh,
Jersey.
why are you biting her butt?
Anyhow, Aaron, I just wanted to
Yes,
point out that you were totally of your own choice driven to go back to where that dryad was in the tree ends.
Totally of my free will.
Part of it is a blur. Other parts are super crystal clear in your memory. You couldn't forget them if you frickin' bashed your own head in with a rock, which was a consideration for a couple days there before you met back up with these guys. I just wanted to remind you of that. Bring that back. Any questions, comments before we return to the group?
No. Like any true good mad scientist, I experimented with my rod. Rod.
Well, that explains why you're with Clyde now. Experimenting with this.
Don't you judge me.
Not judging.
Don't you
just
judge
point out
Clyde.
I don't know. If we get to watch, we're totally judging. I've got the score sign.
that- Boop, boop.
Hey, you get to watch for a small nominal fee.
Yeah,
Because $20 is $20.
but you got to get a license for it if you're going to do that here.
That's negotiable.
Apparently. Okay, so the sun has set. There is a distant howling of the wind through those holes in the top of the canyon. There are people sleeping out under the stars, curled up to the troughs that still have a bit of water in it. There were some fights you guys had to break up as people bickered over the water. Is Create Water a cantrip for you there, Jaith?
I know there's a spell. I don't think I have the cantrip memorized, even if it is.
Do you have to memorize cantrips?
Well, you have to pray for them every day if you change them.
Oh.
He has to pray for them.
Yeah. Priests can change all their spells every day if they need to, but I do not have it currently.
Do I not have a name tag up here for Andrea? Probably because if I'm...
No, you forgot all about me.
I did not.
Whatever.
Anyhow,
No. I just create food and water. It's a spell.
okay. We're just going to grab Andrea here and put her
Where are you gonna grab me?
over here next to me.
In the butt.
What?
Create food and water is a 3rd level spell.
Correct. I said I don't have a cantrip for doing it.
Oh, no. Check. Cantrip's 0 level spell, so.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay.
You would be the richest person in the world if that was a cantrip. You would just be feeding everybody for a long time.
That would remove the power of the spell, wouldn't it?
Indeed.
Okay. So, the sun has set. The moon has... It's okay, squirrel. Has she knocked my... What, did she drool on my notes?
Yeah.
Ah.
Anyhow.
They were that good, she drooled on them. Uh-oh.
There's a noise outside of somebody like...
Yeah, they're driving right here. I think they were driving to our yard, in our yard.
I didn't
Right.
hear an engine.
However, create or destroy water is a 1st level spell.
Yeah, but I don't have it memorized right now.
I got you.
Okay.
Whoa! That was patched.
It is.
Yay, kick it.
Gotta let go sometime. Okay. So, you guys have gathered. It's about 10 at night. You're in Pierce's shop. He is standing in the shadows, seeming very wallflowerish and shy and nervous. Like he's on a first date with all of you.
Did we get dinner?
Well, he created tofu earlier.
Yum, yum. And beer.
And he did not
Maybe
create
if I
beer.
dunk it.
He did pretend at one point in time later in the night to be a beer keg, and he tapped himself, offering to fill people's mugs.
No!
Indeed. Or at least the pot for the musicians in the back. So, Pierce, what did you want? Why didn't you open while we had all these people here?
I will step out of the shadows in my fully naked, just in the normal, like,
It's one of
no
those kind of
disguise
I'm gonna pull out a
kit,
gold coin
straight up
and flip it at him.
Warforged.
All right, I take off my clothes.
I will pull out another coin and flip it at him.
Okay, so let me get this straight. Did you strip off your disguise completely?
Yes.
So you're not any longer anatomically correct. Is that correct?
Correct.
Well,
I'm
we
like a
all
fucking
would.
Ken doll.
Now, I'm curious, when you had your disguise, was it anatomically correct?
Wouldn't you like to know?
That is why I'm
Yeah,
asking.
why
Are you
ask?
a boy or a
As the
girl?
DM.
Let's go with yes.
Really?
Closer to Ed or you were closer to Andrea?
He was a little bit of both. Yes.
Interpierced.
He had attachments.
That would
That's
explain the
awesome.
buzzing sound we kept hearing when Andrea disappeared.
That wasn't static, mister.
Well,
Okay.
Electrical interference.
So he steps out, metal and wood.
okay.
Metal and metal and wood steps out of the shadows. And am I to understand correctly? Jace is going to strip down after that?
Well, looks like he took off his clothes for some reason. I don't know.
Well, and I put gold coins at both of them.
What John give us, John is taking it away.
But you don't get that.
But on the bright side, you'll both be turning a profit thanks to Lolly.
Oh, yeah.
So, what are you hiding for?
Explanation. This is my true form. I am not of your world.
Oh! Can we unscrew your top and look at your chem?
Nuggets, no.
I have a
He's a
question.
golem! I want to look at the words written in his head.
Statement. I am not a golem. I am what is called a warforged.
No.
I come from
that's
a
true.
civilization that was at war. I was designed to be an infiltration assassin.
Okay, so how is that different from a golem?
So's my brother.
I don't get why it's
Response.
an issue.
I am not an arcane construct. No arcane magic was used in my creation as far as I am aware.
So
I am a
there's-
combination of metal, wood, and some other biological bits on the inside?
Okay, so metal golem, wood golem, flesh golem combined.
Wow, that's like saying that you're a sausage, a hamburger, or whatever else, maggots.
No, he's like
What
a
are you, a
grill that's
flesh
been
golem?
converted. No. Okay, you got flesh to stone, or you got what? Shape stone. Imagine you had a similar spell that shaped a grill that had charcoal in the bottom of it. You just take a sausage, put it
That's
on there,
hot.
and then shape it into him,
So are you still
and then give it the spark of life.
So he's sausage?
I think he's saying he has a sausage inside of him.
Here,
Are you still
have gold
Pierce?
coin.
Response. Pierce
just answer
is
me, you
a
don't have to-
disguise that I picked up once he was a man once. I took over his identity to move about your world easier, as that is in
You
My
skinned
will.
Pierce.
it is not his skin.
Whose skin is it?
Why'd you name
I mean,
it
we're
Pierce?
not here to judge. We're here to comment, but we're not here to judge. It's cool if you skinned Pierce.
He was an asshole.
I didn't know him.
He was. We didn't like him anyway.
It is a combination of things that make my disguise kit. It is
Two people?
integrated in myself, and I will put my arms out, and essentially, like, little sections will open up, and the skin kind of, comes out.
Oh, well, as he opened up his arms, I thought he wanted a hug, so I go up there.
Aw, Jace is
Naked.
hugging you, ruining your display.
And he's naked. Naked!
He's naked.
Girl's
Naked
like,
for fun.
which pocket has a sausage in it?
I was talking about the other flesh golem. I don't
No,
understand why he keeps on calling Pierce a golem when he says he's not.
I'm not an arcane golem.
I didn't say arcane.
I got that.
Maybe you were a
Not a
divine golem.
golem.
He's a
So-
businessman.
Well, I would.
Who
Any-
are you?
He's a business golem.
Do you want to continue to be Pierce?
Response. I find it unnecessary to hide my true form from you all any longer. But I would imagine that it would be easier if I continued to use my disguise when we are in a larger public, as not everyone is okay with a walking, talking,
You.
wood metal man.
How do you know?
I have a question.
Yeah.
What girl?
If you're a golem, can you show us what's precious to you? Show us your precious.
By precious, he means sausage.
Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Come back, Aaron.
He had to be alone for a minute.
Yeah, show us your sausage, Joe.
Did we say sausage one too many times and you just needed a minute? Or 8 seconds, one of the
Do we
two?
need to cover him in tofu now?
You don't know that I'm wearing pants.
I don't
Oh,
think
Travis is out.
You're some kind of thing from another planet or wherever you're from. Does that
Dimension.
matter?
Respond.
Dimension. Wally's
I-
from somewhere else.
I am from somewhere else. When I arrived, I was in the middle of an assassination mission. Now
Question.
that I have been unable to complete that, it seems my memory has been altered in some way, as I do not always remember long-term things unless I interact with them on a regular basis. I have noticed on my arm the word Cavix is carved into my arm. I believe that is my designation.
Are you from the same place the Merce is from?
A what?
The Merce.
The Morse. No,
I
there were
must
no
really hope
Morses
not.
where I am from.
How do you know?
Because there were no Morses on our continents?
I'll just shove an apple into my bag. Nom, nom, nom.
So you have no
And
way to
then
get
I will
back.
stand there for a second and let because, like, you know, my flesh suit, my Edgar suit is all in pieces. I will let it, like, suck back in to all its various places.
It makes
and
this
just be-
noise as it's being sucked back in. Guac, 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 guac.
No.
Okay,
All right.
so I have a real question here, okay?
Guac.
How are we going to profit off of this?
$20 is $20. Come and see it.
He said he's
What?
an
No.
assassin. We could just
We
get
just
paid
helped
for
all
him.
those people out there.
Absolutely. But that's for the good of Jonathan. And Jonathan wants us to continue on with our work, so we need to make a profit. So that
Well-
we can spread the word of Jonathan farther.
The good of Jonathan is the good of the people. So
Oh, absolutely. And I agree with that. But we need capital to make that happen.
I have money.
Well, it could be like a show, a magic trick, and then I will take off my purse, put my hand
Oh, damn
in,
it!
pull it out, and there's the Morse.
I give her back her coin.
This is not the kind of show I was expecting.
My kilt back.
You don't
So
want
we
to know
got
how
a
to
horse
turn it back
and
into
a
a
naked
purse.
dwarf here.
Well, what I'm telling you, Pierce or Carvax or whatever you are,
Cervix.
we don't really care.
Show me the Carfax.
At least I don't care. So I don't get what you're all hung up about.
He's not hung at all, I can see.
Well, I'm sure there's an attachment for it.
Uh,
Buzz on the street says otherwise.
It's an interesting question, though. How do you make more of you?
Response.
Before.
I am unsure. I was not that connected in the army. I was just created
In the Navy.
to assassinate my targets.
I have a question.
So there could have been
Infiltrate
Morses.
as
there.
possible.
do you know
There
who your
are
target was?
other personas that I have adopted in the past, but Pierce seems to be the easiest one to use to move about your world as a traveling merchant.
Yeah, well, Pierce it is,
Kinda
because that's what we know you
Morse.
buy, and it's easier for us then.
Well, I
Sure.
have a question.
Second beer? Oh, go ahead. Oh,
Observation. I would imagine that something in this town is destroying my flesh suit that doesn't normally happen.
He called it a flesh suit.
yeah, we're looking at.
Can we call it meat curtains?
Resignation. Fine, call it whatever you want. The thing is, we just need to, when we get out of here, it's going to take some time to repair everything back to a passable level.
I have another question.
Yes.
So how come you keep on being like statement, resignation when you didn't do that before? Like if you don't have your meat curtains on, you got to say those things.
He's being himself,
Oh.
brah.
I'm sorry, I don't know who he is. Never met him.
Well, now you do.
Statement.
And
Lolly would be correct.
then,
This was part of my programming. Or instructions. I'm unsure what.
Chem.
But when I take over a persona, I can talk and sound like whoever it is that I am impersonating.
Can you impersonate me?
Yes.
Without cutting off my skin and putting it on. Buffalo Bill.
Maybe.
the solution.
So I will twitch for a second and then say, sounding exactly like him, can you sound like me without cutting off my skin or stuff?
That's awesome. Trin, yes, we have talk at the tavern tomorrow night. Now, I'm curious, Chris, can your character imitate voices? Is that a thing?
Yes, so in theory, yes. I'm not quite at that level. When I get higher, I actually get that, but,
Okay.
for story purposes on small snippets.
Sure.
Because, hold on, where's the... We can talk about the feat, but,
It's good enough. That's good enough.
yeah.
You could say a
When I
line or
hit
something.
higher levels, I have to spend a certain amount of time, and I can write and sound exactly like that person when interacting with them.
So this is all good and stuff, but I'm curious.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Nope, let's talk about this for a minute till Lolly gets back.
So okay, question. Can you imitate the fat man?
Statement.
If given enough time?
We would have to spend an exorbitant amount of time here for me to study him on a regular basis before I would be able to imitate him.
Well, if
How
I
hard
don't
is it to
find
sit on a
a
chair?
cure for this problem, we're leaving this town with all these people. Because something here is causing this.
Well,
Observation. Speaking of the cause, while I was inspecting what Mogget so lovingly calls the demon's asshole, I noticed
that's lovingly.
some runes, and I believe it tells a story. I am not skilled
Lovely.
in my history of this world, so potentially you should take a look at it
That's a
tomorrow
really
when the
cool
sun is
way.
up.
I don't know. Those runes might be sun bleached at that point.
Bleach like the asshole? What?
Mm-hmm. And nobody wants to look at a bleached devil's asshole.
Well,
I wouldn't say nobody. Somebody's paying.
Well,
So okay, you were over there hanging out, poking at the devil's asshole, right?
with your sausage?
Interjection. Yes, that would be an accurate statement.
Okay, that's cool. You do you, and the devil's asshole. So I'm okay. What all did you find over there in the devil's asshole? Polyps?
Clarification. I found several runes in blocks that clearly were telling a story of some sort. Then, moving further into the crevice, there were more runes every 7 feet?
Something like that, 7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah.
interjection. Did it spiderweb out, or did it spiral around?
Resignation. I'm going to go put my clothes back on. I shall return shortly. You discuss among yourselves.
What's the deal with the kid?
I will turn and walk away and go put my leather armor back on.
He steps 3 feet away.
Into the little, back room. There's a little back room.
Closes the door. He is now 4 feet away once the door is closed.
So we have a golem now. That's awesome.
It's precious.
Who's we?
Well, us.
No.
You trying to claim the golem vault for yourself? What the hell,
No.
Jay? Okay, so Jolly. Excuse me. So Grawl, I, and Lolly have a golem now.
Did he just say Jolly?
Jolly.
Are you and Jace dating and you have like a superstar name together? Jolly.
No one's supposed to know.
I get it.
Not
It
even
happens in the
Jay.
future.
I guess it's better than Lath.
Well, not by much.
No, not really.
Could be Lana.
Well, to own something or someone, it means you're going back to
Whoa. We don't
slavery.
use, hey, we don't use that word. We don't own him.
Who's
we
we
possess
again?
him.
You don't
Who's
own
we?
Possess.
Who's
I'm
we?
not gonna sing the song.
Huh?
You
Again.
don't know me.
We, collectively, the group, possess, as in we hold him in trust.
No.
Don't
You
touch
do not
him
have
there.
you have a flock of followers, do you not?
Cuckoo!
I have people that I'm showing the word of Jonathan to. They're not mine.
Oh, okay. So
They're enlightened.
yeah, it sounds like mental gymnastics to me. It's okay for you to have a flock, but it's
Well,
not
how would
okay
you know
for
what
us.
mental gymnastics are? You don't even know what you're talking about now.
Moggins, you know he could beat the snot out of you and you probably should stop while you're not sober. So, hey, Cervix,
sorry.
can you hear
we
us?
We have a golem accompanying
Hold
us.
on,
Okay,
hold on.
are you happy?
Guys, I
I'll-
think we have a
I'll
bigger
I'll walk
fucking
back out
issue
in my
here.
armor.
What's the deal with the goddamned kid?
How do we know he's damned?
Statement.
He's
I
dead.
am unsure of what the kid is.
What is a kid?
The
Why is there only one of them?
It's not like they
the
could put-
slave horde started banging spoons and things
Uh-huh.
together as I got closer to their camp while I was trying to make out runes carved into the walls.
You're hard to
Then-
understand. Your lips fell off. The slave whore started banging.
Resignation.
I resigned.
This
hand
is
him
getting
the-
very, very tiresome.
I hand him the hammer of Jonathan.
Can you
You
even
can
get
answer
tired?
him properly if you'd like. Can you put the runes in the dirt here so we can see what they look like? Can you replicate them?
He absolutely can with his memory.
Statement. Of course. And
Yeah.
I will go and maybe the first 2 blocks I read, I will start.
I'm
Like
going
in
to
the dirt.
intercede here for a moment, guys.
Yeah.
The runes are ancient. He can definitely put them down there for you. Here's what you're getting before Maw gets interrupted again. This child single-handedly held off a crowd of hundreds of people by growling at him. There's something up with that kid. There have been no other kids except for this one kid. And throughout the
Maybe
whole
he's
evening,
just a little guy. Maybe he's not a kid. Maybe he's just very short.
Feral halfling?
Maybe.
So, where is the child at? Where did you encounter him?
Statement. The child interceded when the horde of slaves decided to attack me. After I shot the one that started banging all of the spoons together at me.
All right. I grab a lantern or a torch and head out.
and Jaith, give me a. What do we got? A history roll? Hold on, let me get my glasses because again it's small print. I think history roll there, Jaith. Anybody else can also give me a history roll.
Plus 5.
Margaret, you might want to take a stab at this.
16 plus 5, 21.
I got a 10 because Mogus apparently does not actually care.
Andrew, you got a 4 in
I
history.
do now? See, I gotta change all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, hold on.
Margaret, you got a 9 in it, though,
20.
don't you? No, 6 in it.
I got a 6.
Natural 20?
No.
Okay. Got a 6, okay. Now, Chris, we already had you roll for this, so we're not going to have you roll again.
Yeah,
It's,
no.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I have a +1 in history. I don't know shit.
Yeah, and I want to say you rolled very poorly last time.
Oh, I'm
So-
sorry. I have a 12, not
Okay.
a 10.
That's okay. Lolly leaning over looking at as a student of history from the future.
I'm leaning over looking.
We should call that a student of present now.
No, if she was from the past and studied the future, she'd be present. No, you
Yeah,
gotta
whatever,
do-
Christmas.
Anyhow, yeah. Jaith and Lolly leaning over looking at the runes. And keep in mind, he can't put a lot in there because he did try to clean up in here before, so there's a minimum of dirt on the floor. Now. But it's
Yeah, but
enough
there's
to-
all these skin particles now.
Oh god, don't draw it in the skin.
It's not.
Stop being
Cavix
dead.
just shakes his head.
Aaron took his happy pills today. He's been like this the whole thing.
It's the root beer.
It could be the root beer. And the top.
No, because I was like this before.
Were you? Just a good day for you. Good enough. Okay. So yeah, the runes are very ancient, and you feel like they're tied into the Great Desert Empire. A few things have happened in the Great Desert Empire. First of all, Rajan the Plague, who was a slave trader who actually raised the finest slaves there were and took good care of them once they were contracted out. He was also involved in the downfall, and also known to consort with demons. Go figure. But he was also a Rocairn.
Go figure.
Other things that happened here is Vrolzenluke was entombed here 1,000 years ago, 1,500 years ago, and about 150 years ago he was freed and he rose to godhood, breaking the hierarchy of gods and tearing the realm of magic in two. So now we had two types of magic and gods that went with it. He then later gave part of his power to the god Onyx, who was the one that created the Onyx Towers, where anybody could go get a magic item. Jaith, you remember this from your childhood. They cropped off all over the damn place, and everybody was getting magic items, and then some weird shit happened. And it was not too long after that the Talisman came around. Well, not too long for that for Rocairn. For humans, it was like 2 generations later, 40, 50 years later. So there's been some weird things attached to the Great Desert that you are on the western side of. And it looks like those runes come from that buried empire that Vrolzenluke was buried with, him and all of his advisors and everything, and that he rose from once somebody broke into that tomb. And this relates to that and the kind of magic that he took control of, wrested control of. Doesn't mean you can understand it, just means you recognize it and you know what it tends to point at. Between you and Lolly, you're able to put that much together.
Query. Do you know what these runes mean?
I know what they're attached to. I don't know if it's what's causing this until we go investigate. There was a god that rose from there and split magic at one time. But I'm going to have to find a child.
Time to save a child.
Okay, I'm gonna
Observation. It is nearing midnight. Shouldn't we rest and or wait until morning to go find this child?
No.
Well, that would be debatable considering you guys got up at the crack of dawn, so you've been up and going for almost 18 hours. Now, Jaith, you can absolutely head out there in the night in this strange place, but it might be best to get a little rest before facing it.
Have any of the rest of you seen this child while we were here?
I saw something. A shadow.
Just the one.
But
Where?
wasn't it rooftops? The rooftops.
When you were touring the town, Lolly tells you how she saw the child watching you guys from the rooftops as you were looking for a better location.
All right, get some rest. Then in the morning, we'll head to the rooftops and see if we can find this child so we can talk to him and find out what's going on.
Statement. That's kind of the thing. I don't necessarily need to rest. I need to go into a more inactive state, but I am still aware of all of my surroundings.
Good.
Well, here's to you.
It's like Moggets when we talk to him.
Pet the Morse. I'm gonna cuddle the Morse because he's soft and cuddly like a bag, but I'm not gonna cut him open and sleep in him. Like
So you're on the door then?
If you only put him halfway back in, you probably could use him as a sleeping bag.
that's awkward. We'll see if it works.
You don't know. It depends on what if you're a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper, and do you slide in and out during the night?
Okay, let's fast forward through the night. Moggets did try to stay awake to find out if you slide in and out during the night, but soon he was gently snoring. You know, like he does in the back of the wagon, where you're never really sure if he's asleep or not.
Meditating, thank you.
Yeah, meditating.
Is Mr. Dale here?
Moggets.
No, Mr. Dale went back to his own apartments or wherever he stays.
Checking. Make sure.
Yeah. We checked. He checked out for the evening, and I checked out for the evening.
Is that code for something?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Hey, we're not here to judge Mogget's lifestyle
Maybe you're not.
or Mr. Dale's. Oh, we'll comment about it.
Or Mr.
Well, at 5 o'clock, it's time to get up.
At 5 o'clock, it's time for me to hit the snooze alarm for another 5 hours.
Quit punching me.
One in here.
So, it's an hour or two after sunrise when all of you finally get up and get going. Some of you have been awake longer than others, but everybody is fed, has used the privy, washed up. Kavix, is that correct? How do you like to
Yes.
spell that?
Kavix.
Excellent.
Pronounce cervix.
No.
Got it.
Grawl does tend to mess it up, just like you used to mess his up.
Like bra.
What?
His name's Bra.
Bra?
Bra.
Hey, bra.
And you're never sure if it's on purpose or accident, but everybody's terribly amused once in a while. Until it gets old, and then he keeps doing it.
Keeps doing it.
Until it gets funny again. Because South Park proved to us if you keep doing the same joke, it gets old and then it gets funny again.
But
On the bright side, he's not farting on you. Okay, so Jaith is outside as everybody else comes out. He's got 8 or 9 people gathered around him as he's telling him about, the beauty of Jonathan and how Jonathan provides and the Stone Around protects. It's kind of the same thing as before, a different take on it, talking about new days and all that good stuff. Moggets comes out and he has an interesting aroma. It smells a bit like fish. Nobody's really sure what it's from.
Okay.
Maybe.
I will make sure that all of my gloves are pulled up tight so you can't see under them, and my hood will be up and overshadowing my face some.
Do you have another skin suit on or not?
No,
Okay, so it's
because
au naturel,
there was-
just
Just
covered.
in his pants.
The bits that were here have deteriorated.
Where were you pointing when you said here?
What?
The bits that were here, where were you pointing?
Here in the shop.
Oh, gotcha.
As
Okay.
a backup meat suit. As a backup disguise kit.
Meat suit.
Have deteriorated, so he's going without, as there's not enough time overnight at least to adequately
Backup meat suit.
create a new disguise.
Hey, George, come over here for a second. I need
George.
a backup suit. No. The backup meat suit.
You ever know a guy named Pierce, George? Come here.
Yeah. When I'm talking with these folks, I'll ask them if they would be kind enough to help me. If they see the child that's on the rooftop sometimes, let me know.
Okay.
If they'll help me and keep an eye out for him. We'll be doing some construction work a little bit later over there on the foundation of the church. And I have some things in the morning to do, but thank you all for coming. Perhaps we'll have another meeting tonight. And more ale.
By the way, now you know why your little device kept on zinging and zinging with, what's his face there?
Yep, because of his sausage.
Yeah, every once in a while you do get a little peak of energy from Grohl, but you assume it's because he deals with demons as a warlock, or at least some kind of foreign dimensional energy.
Got it.
It's not necessarily a register like he's from somewhere else, just every once in a while there's a crackle. Ain't shit for maggots.
Cackle. Well, there's some shit from August, alright.
He got a different kind of shit. Now, let me check with you guys, because we're at a very calm, soothing, relaxed starting place
Nap
for the
time.
next game. We want to go for another half hour? I'm good for it.
Yes.
Good.
Aaron, you all good? Excellent. You good?
Do I have to wear pants?
Nope.
Okay.
I even heard
Put mine
Jay.
back on.
That's right. Even heard Jay says he wears a kilt now.
Nice.
It's comfy out here in the desert.
You get the breeze. Just.
And it makes it harder for people to track him when there's 3 tracks.
Just sliding along.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, you know the old saying, hung like a rope, Karen.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
And so, on the other hand, Lolly leaves 4 tracks if she doesn't have pants. So, let's move on from
Don't let that slug guy know about that.
that. Which guy?
Earlier.
The slut guy?
Slug.
Oh,
Your
slut.
slug lover. Yeah, don't let him know that.
we had a guy just before I cut off to do the pre-show stuff off air named Slug Lover. And he was a self-professed troll, and he was fun.
That's fabulous.
So Trin gifted a sub to him. Yeah.
Sub.
That's awesome.
But he's in the
You hit the
UK.
ticket.
Yeah, he's in the UK. So,
So he's a wanker.
and Trin is also not wearing pants.
Oh, there you go.
It is a tavern trend to go pantsless. Trin,
I
just
mean, I'm not wearing pants either, but
Trin, we have had pantsless broadcasts before.
Yeah, that was great. He did wear his leg warmers though.
I did. It's anyhow. Let's move forward then. So in the morning, which by the way, Jaith, as you were breaking up, you did see Bob Fortune over there with his clipboard, if you will, going like this at you. There's a bit of a mess out in the yard. There are 4 more dead people. Freshly dead people, probably from last night. Could have been any number of things.
It was that tofu.
Evil tofu. And, so, yeah. You guys set out. Everybody's dressed. Everybody's rested. If you lost XP, which I don't believe anybody had.
And my Morse is now immersed.
Yes, you
Don't
have
ask
immersive.
how I did it.
oh my.
I had to put and pull through, but
Well,
don't ask.
you
me
throw
how.
an apple in, then you throw it in less hard, and then you throw it in just a little, and then you kind of hold it out, and then you hold it out farther until it friggin'
Cool. Moving on.
You gotta lure the merce out of the purse.
No, I was making him into a purse.
And vice versa.
So to make him into a merce, do you just shove an apple in his ass and watch him collapse inside of himself?
Ew.
Well, you gotta lead the.
Okay,
you gotta
let's move
lead
on
the
from
apple.
that. This is the discussion as you guys are heading out towards where?
That way.
Are you heading
Wherever
for-
Molly thought that she saw him the first time. In the rooftops.
Okay, Moggets?
I do a quick segue over to Bob and I go, hey, psst, how much is a license to prostitute out here?
To prostitute or to...
No, prostitute. What friggin' the priest does?
Cross.
I don't know what he does. But with the religion thing.
The praying to the
Yes.
praying to the
Prostitute.
god and all that stuff.
Well, considering the crowd he draws, we're charging extra. It will be 5 gold per day or 20 gold a month.
Did you prostitute today?
Done.
What were
Don't
you,
bring
like,
it up
unrolling
again.
condoms there? What were you doing?
You don't want
I
to
hand him 2 platinum pieces and go, don't bring it up to
I
him.
thought you were doing that thing.
He was.
Do you know how much you just paid him?
Did you prostitute today? Are you
2.
gonna
I paid him
prostitute
2
tomorrow?
platinum, which is 20 gold
Okay.
for the month, so that he leaves us the hell alone. You paid 1,000 gold to spite him.
I did.
Right.
So he's filling out a piece of paper. He's like, and what's your name?
Bob Fortune, representative
My
of the
name
unnamed priest.
is Bob Fortune.
Pull out another platinum piece. Bob Fortune.
No, you can't have my name. I'll put you down as asshole moron man. Good
That's
enough?
fine.
Excellent.
Perfect.
And he's Jaith the bastard.
Sure.
And he puts a seal on it, rolls it up, and hands it to you. He says, there's your damn license. Whatever I wrote
You're the
your
one who
name as.
enforces this, right?
No, I have 20 men I call upon to beat the shit out of you. Do you know what I had to go through today? I hate you. You need to leave now before I have them pummel you. Fine, I like you a little, but you still need to leave. Walk away from me. As he's taking her money.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Bob.
You realize money only pays for so much. You can't keep spitting on a man and expect to get away with it for too long. So,
But that's all he
For
has.
too long.
yeah.
But
Let
for,
him-
for the next 5 minutes, I can.
Well, let him have the thing where you walk away and he gets to stand there and be...
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, no. Hence the I hate. Okay, I like you a little, and then I walk. Thank you.
Yeah. And he will pocket the coins and shuffle away, a little cloud of dirt at his feet. Now, I believe the first order of business, according to Jaith, is hunt down the one remaining rugrat of Sandbilge.
Mm-mm.
Is that correct?
Mhm.
Or the child. Yes.
They
Query.
may have rats and rugs.
Maybe we should go investigate the hole.
The hole?
The hole. And
I like
then
spend
spend
it-
some time finding the child?
Why don't we start from here, circle around, and then when we get out, we'll head towards the hole. We'll check this part of the town.
Which hole
As a compromise.
are we investigating?
The bleached one.
The devil's asshole?
Yeah, the bleached one.
Oh
So,
yeah, the
Jay-
sun bleached.
Jay,
Sun bleached.
as they banter back and forth... Wait. Trin, best of luck with that, but thank you for typing that out while your face
Bye,
is
Trin.
bleeding.
Take care of yourself.
Your face bleeds a lot.
That is the weirdest thing
That's
I've heard
like the
all day.
second or third time in like the last week that something has happened to Trin's face and her face is now bleeding. I'm just saying.
Wasn't it Sarah last time? Sarah Grimm?
No, I'm pretty sure it was Trin.
You might be
Well, we
right.
still hope it gets better.
Yes, either way, we hope it gets better. Good point there, John. Okay.
Pierce may know some neat flaps
Jake,
to fix that.
these two keep bantering back and forth and going on. And I totally had a question to ask you, and I totally don't remember what it is.
Which hole?
I was not going with which hole. That's what you guys are discussing. Oh, you
I'm
said...
sighing
no,
in
we're just
resignation.
If I may,
clarifying.
please.
Following
If I may,
along
please.
behind Jace.
Jace, you said you want to go around. What are you talking about there?
So what? The outer skirts of the town. So between, like when we circle back towards where the high area is, then you continue around, you see the racetracks, and then you see the pit.
You want to take the long way around and walk the whole circumference of the canyon to get to the crack.
That's what I want to do.
Okay.
So around the elbow to get to the hole.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my compromise. And
Okay,
I'm
and
waiting
that's-
to hear back from them what they would like to do.
That's what I wanted to clarify because I wasn't sure if that's clear. He's like, hey guys, let's walk around the perimeter of the whole damn thing to get where we got to go instead of going right there.
Sure.
Pierce, Muggets.
It'll only take us a few hours.
It won't even take that long.
I will put out word that seeing if Clyde or Mr. Dale is available. I have a couple secondary questions I'd like to ask him.
I just sigh and let the two of them argue and bicker, and I will follow Jace.
Okay. Oh, we lost Aaron. Can you reset your camera for me, sir?
I just did that. Yeah, I'm doing that now.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Aaron, are you agreeable to go along with the group and go all the way around the whole
Oh,
thing?
yeah.
Okay.
It's basically one of those, hey, if you see Mr. Dale, please let him know that I'm looking for him.
Well, that'll
and then
make
I
it-
continue with the group.
Yeah, and actually going that way will make it much easier to run across Clyde. Andrew's got some stuff I haven't seen. Where do those come from?
The bottom of the list.
Oh, okay. Anyhow, you guys start to head around. Now, for anybody who is watching online, I'm going to show you guys real quick. There's a little Sandbilge there. So they're walking between the canyon wall and Merchant Row. Then over in front of the stone towers... Trin, I will address that in a moment, but I'm glad you're okay. Between the stone towers and the racetrack, then in front of the Warrens, which, by the way, that's where they carry the waste. The waste is, you've noticed the lines of buckets of waste, as in feces, being carried into the Warrens and dumped. So as you go around that way, there will be that warming smell of feces that are baking in caves, depending how far back they put it. But there will definitely be an aroma of that. Now, when you get to the tent city,
Shitty.
tent town there, do you want to go around it or directly through it?
Through it.
I suggest we go around it.
We'll discuss that bridge when you burn it. Funny. It's okay, let me move this down here. There we go. So it's behind the... Okay, I think we're good with that plan then as you guys go behind the merchant buildings. There are a few people who are friendly and wave and say good morning and hello and all that stuff. There are a few people who glare at you, but most people just ignore you.
As we're going by, see you at tonight's prayer meeting. See you at the tent. See you there. Freaking kind of build up. Freaking, you're gonna be over at the noon sermon, right? Freaking midnight sermon.
Jace, you're going to have a very busy day if you stick to his schedule that he's setting for you. There are 5 sermons.
You assume that I'm listening to it.
Oh, I know he's not. That's why I'm doing it.
It's
You don't have to make them all. Just try to make one a day. Remember, free food and water at every sermon.
you better save that spell every damn day, damn it.
I prayed for it.
How many times a day can you do that?
3.
3? Okay. Margaret, you're not a moron. You want to keep the prayer sermons to 3. Please pick 3 times a day. Noon, evening, night.
Yep.
If it has food and
So-
water with it, anyway.
He did not say which ones would have food and water.
He said food and water at every sermon.
No, you need to just tell him come there, food and water. And then, it depends. It's random chance. Oh,
Well, at least
come on.
Lolly's listening to you.
Now, the merchant buildings that you're passing, a lot of them are selling dried fruits, dried vegetables.
Right, shit.
Nothing for sale. Got nothing for sale.
Little polished shit stones.
I have one of those. I got it from Cards Against Humanity.
Here's a box of shit.
I do. I ordered the bullshit.
It is bullshit. We
So-
went down the street to get that.
We could have gone under our back of our house at one night. So anyhow, true story. We had a cow under our house.
Yeah.
Well, that's better than pigs tearing
When
up
the
your
game
lawn, I suppose.
ends, I want to hear this story because I haven't heard that one before.
Very
There's
good.
pictures.
What'd you say, Aaron?
I suppose that's a bit better than the pigs tearing up your lawn.
Yes, it is,
yeah.
and it's much better than our neighbors showing up on the doorsteps threatening to, I don't know, Godfather the sniper fucking shit out of me. So, we'll get to that after the game. We've only got a couple more minutes. Let's get you guys around. As you leave the merchant area, that's where a lot of people are buying their food. The merchants apparently rotate through a lot of dry goods. The vegetables they have are no leafy greens, just things that will travel, that can be dried, such as beans and peas and corn and other things that can be dried and reconstituted. As you move between the racetrack, which, by the way, apparently it's that iguana lizard type day, so there's a lot of little noises. What? That's closer to like.
That noise that zebras make that no one can replicate because it's just a weird noise.
That's awesome.
I could do a peacock,
Only if you catch them.
but nobody wants me to do that over a microphone. It's so. Only if they catch me will I do a peacock, or do I have to catch a peacock?
To do it.
Anyhow, yeah. So by the time you leave the merchant rows, there's 3 people kind of tagging along, talking about things, hanging out with you. Andrea, link for you, dear.
Okay.
By the time you pass between the racetrack where the iguana things are racing with their frills, which I keep back when running because really wind resistance, and the towers. And the towers, you can see at least 6 different groups of people on balconies. Now, there's many more buildings than just 6, but there's at least 6 watching you go by. Not necessarily threateningly. They're just watching you. 1 or 2 will wave back at you, Jaith. The others ignore you. There is one group in particular that pointedly ignores you to the point of turning away, but not all of them because they're not turning their backs to fucking anyone. It's not that kind of world anymore. And you circle around past that. Let me check something here. Okay. You, Jaith, as you guys pass the stone towers, you notice movement and you glance back over your shoulder because you're not paranoid, but you're smart enough to look behind you on occasion. And the fat man has come out, and you can see Bob leaning into his ear to whisper. And not that he needs to whisper, nobody's near him. And you can also see Bubba Fad behind him, looking very imposing and impressive, at least in his own mind, if not in a large part of the people. And by the time you pass that, you have 7 people following you, discussing things. Now, by the way, they're not all just, yay, Jonathan. Some of them are a little bit about Moggets. Clyde has shown up now and is walking along. Aaron, are you frozen?
Oh, let me double check that.
Yeah.
Yeah, your thing appears behind mine or in front of mine, so sometimes it freezes.
Quit sticking your thing in front of him.
No, it's the little window.
It's not little.
For his, it is.
And that's the difference between one person going up a level and somebody else not. Somebody's going up, somebody's going down.
Okay,
So-
there we go.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, then you pass the Warrens. The Warrens, it is creepy-ish. Now, Kavix, it's not like the crevice. It's not like the fissure. It's not that kind of creepy feeling. It's more of a feeling of foreboding, like it looks like shit should belong here. Not literal shit. There is literal shit there now. But the caves are probably 20 feet across and 12 to 15 feet tall. And the mouth of the cave immediately slopes downward when you're going in, probably at a 30-degree angle downward of each of these three
Damn.
caves. And they go into the mountain in different directions, at least as far as you can see. And with the daylight out here, it being early in the day, you're probably only seeing 20, 30 feet into each cavern. And they are 30, 40 feet apart from each other. But obviously nobody's worried about them anymore. Now, during the activities, the festivities last night, you guys did talk to people here and there. And each of you learned different information. Jaith, you were pretty busy entertaining the crowd, so this is more on Moggets and Lolly, which are kind of your mouthpieces anyway. And you guys learned things like people do disappear. Into the war.
Do they disappear or are they disappeared?
It felt like they were really saying the second.
Okay.
Yeah, that they're taken down there and offed. Now, mind you, that was before the Fat Man came. Now that the Fat Man is here, nobody has been disappeared. You guys continue to circle around, and as you approach Tent Town, dozens of people come forward. And they're not begging per se as much as they're really passive aggressive about wanting things. So anywhere from that knife on your belt to a boot to, you know, a canteen or a flask or your flint and steel. And they're not snatching at them. They paw at you, but they're not stealing because they obviously are. They don't want you to beat the shit out of them is what it boils down to. They're obviously used to a certain level of abuse. Uh-oh, Aaron's drifting. But we got...
No.
Okay. We got 8 minutes left
Well,
anyway.
I'm going to basically tell them instead of begging, we'll set it up so you can earn any of these things. Things are going to
Jonathan
change.
will provide
Jonathan does provide.
Yeah.
for those that treat.
For those that what?
That treat.
Trick or treat or something. I don't know.
Yes.
Those that attend, those that worship, those that do. Jonathan will provide
At the
if you do what you are
noon,
supposed to do.
evening, or night sermon. Right over there. Anything you want to be doing while you're going around? At any point in time?
Looking to see if there's anything I need.
Get
Definite in my purse.
the people that can't have stuff.
Like a boot or a flint or a
That
knife
guy's
on
leg.
somebody's belt.
It just comes right off.
Stop pointing at Kavix. Kavix, is there anything you want to do while you guys are making your circle around?
No.
Yes, Shinran.
Moggets?
Response.
Besides what you've already said?
I will. Has Mr. Dale has made it up to us, right? Kind of following around.
Yeah, right outside of the towers he came up to you.
Okay. Hey, what's with the kid issue?
Oh. Now you guys all, as it's kind of clear as you walk around the arena, which by the way, the arena looks like it's being set up for something today. And it does look like, as I mentioned, the races are, they're running their lizard things today. But you guys over here, Clyde, talking to Morgan, says he asked, "What's with the kid thing?" Well, it's for a while there. We used to have kids here. It was, I guess, a year ago. Something else. They started disappearing. Sometimes you'd hear something get them, but we'd never find traces. It was whatever it was quick. We assumed it was some kind of large winged night predator. Then they started disappearing in the day too, because we started, locking everything down at night, and it didn't matter. They started disappearing during the day from locked buildings. Sometimes we would find, like we thought a giant mole got 2 or 3 of the kids because it was this mound of dirt, but dozens of children disappeared with no mounds of dirt.
Like 1 a day, like 5 a day, like once every couple weeks.
I think the most we had disappear in one day was 13.
13 kids in a day.
But then we went, after that it was like a couple days later, another one, and then we went almost a month. Not quite a month, but almost a month before we had another one disappear. Till eventually they were all gone. Now some people left, and quite often
blew up.
I went to Neverland. We had some of them. People tried to leave with their kids, especially merchants in Merchant Row. And quite often we would find their caravan or their wagon or whatever they had just a mile or so outside of Sandbilge. And it was just decimated, and the adults were just torn up like a pack of wild animals. But they didn't eat. They weren't eaten. They were just ripped to shreds. And the children are missing. Never a sign of the children. And by children, I really mean pretty much 2 decades of life. Anything even up to that old would disappear. It was weird.
Like Bambinos to friggin' halfling size? Or friggin' 18-year-old?
20-year-olds.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Here?
Well, I'm just telling you what happened.
Okay.
I don't know how what kind of ruler they were using to measure what they were doing. As you guys travel through, are you talking, John?
That's Chris breathing.
I know it is, but I saw your mouth move. I want to make sure you weren't muted and saying something.
I drank a soda.
Okay.
He was mouthing to the breathing.
So, you guys make it through Tent Town. By the time you get through Tent Town, first of all, those 9 or so people that have been following you once you went through past all the other structures are really up on you, because you probably have 40 different ex-slaves following you at this point in time. A lot of them reaching out to touch Jaith. Well, really touch any of you, but they mostly want to touch Jaith.
Right there.
But as you hit, Chris, remember those short steps I mentioned?
Mm-hmm.
As you hit that first area, and they're not obvious steps, guys. They're buried under sand, but there are short steps, probably 4 or 5 inches tall, and then 4 or so feet between one step and the next step, that lead up to the crevice in a semicircle around them. And on these steps, the edges are very well rounded through sand, time, traffic. There are faded runes on the steps. But as you approach that area, the people from Tent Town fall back and away. And that's when they started clacking their bones against their bowls again. And keep in mind, their bowls are like a broken off pelvis. That's just a shallow indent that they've scraped away a little more so it holds a little more. And they start clacking bone against bone. It is never metal, wood, or anything else. It was always bone against bone. As you observe the crowd in turn when they started doing this, it's bone against bone. And we're stopping there.
Ew.
Just a tips. Okay, for everybody that joined us and hung out, God, I appreciate that. Trin, I really hope you get okay and get better. And how the hell did your sister smash her face with a what happened?
Do you want to stop this and then start another one and we'll talk about the cow and stuff?
Oh, we could do that. Guys,
Unless you wanna...
give us about 10 or 15 minutes to reset some things, kick Aaron off to bed, let John start his drive home, and we could pop back on and hang out for a little bit. Chris, if you're willing to, if you're interested.
Yep.
So everybody else, thank you for hanging out. Gentlemen, anything else for the crowd or me before we go off air?
Have a great night.
Aaron zoned. We're out of here, guys.